Just a bloke in a bar.
Honey's like, it used to be big, I reckon. I reckon it's lost a bit of its pizzazz.
But Manuka honey...
Do you think honey used to be bigger than it was?
Yeah, I reckon it's not as big as it used to be.
No.
Why do you think that correlates with the decline of the spread? Are you saying spreads have declined?
Or are you making a comment about the state of bees?
I didn't think about that. I was focused on honey. But are you making the claim that spreads have declined?
Well, I'm saying I would only argue that honey has declined if you're going to argue that spreads have declined. Because maybe now it's more about, you know, your goat's cheese and your avocado, etc.
Etc.
Whereas a spread is a bit more like... It's
well,
almost
kids used to get up in this country and they used to have jam or Vegemite or honey on toast.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
Can't believe you left that out. Peanut butter's the goat.
Obviously. Well, you know. Well, it's not, is it the goat?
No, it's not the goat.
It's absolutely the goat.
Vegemite's the goat.
No.
Vegemite
Don't
is...
be silly.
Vegemite's reign is supreme.
No one's
Don't
come
be silly.
close. Vegemite sits there
Peanut
and
butter outsells Vegemite, guaranteed.
That's not the point,
Oh,
even if that's
does
true.
it?
I wouldn't know if that's true or not.
Matt,
but let's say
I don't know if it's true, but I feel it's true.
Let's say it is
I'm going
true.
off vibe here.
You reckon peanut butter outsells Vegemite?
By a substantial margin.
Obviously globally it would. But
No,
we can just do Australia. We can just do Australia. I
I'd
reckon
say
by a
Vegemite.
substantial margin.
Substantial margin?
I'm confident.
Maybe
what else do you use peanut butter for? In smoothies and shit?
Maybe, but I think peanut butter predominantly used as a spread, or to put on your cock and get your dog to lick it off. But like other than that,
I mean, that is a use.
I don't think dogs like Vegemite.
Matt?
That's the thing.
22 million jars of Vegemite are sold each year. Number one.
And how much peanut butter?
I don't know, but that's number one. I'll look up peanut butter.
So Vegemite's
Thanks
number
for the
one.
one
number
stat.
one.
So Vegemite's number one.
Well, no, based
You
on
asked
that
what's-
stat, Vegemite number one. We can't even find anything on peanut butter.
Peanut
Well,
butter's
we
ranked.
need some stat on peanut butter. You can't just go, yeah, it's number one, and we got no other
22
stats of
million.
anything else.
That's a lot.
That is a lot of Vegemite.
I think you're in trouble early.
I am in trouble early. It's a bad start.
That's a shitload of Vegemite.
That is a lot of fucking Vegemite.
Why do you not like Vegemite or something?
I can eat it, but it's not my go-to.
Peanut
I
butter
had some.
is.
I actually
Peanut
had some last night on toast, and it was terrific.
I've got a
Terrific.
controversial, and it's not even controversial because it's not my opinion, but it's my old man's, and so I sometimes, dip my toe into the world. Promite.
Nah.
Trust me.
Fuck
Nah.
off.
Nah.
Don't say it to me. It's my dad. You don't tell my dad to fuck off. Don't you dare.
I'm telling anyone that's
Don't
a
you dare.
What are you saying? Are you saying that Promite is better than Vegemite? Is that what I'm hearing?
saying? Did I say that?
That's the
Come on
implication.
now.
Yeah, that was what it was
That was
implied.
the implication.
Come on now.
And
was
you've got a bit of
implied.
pushback.
Come on now. I
and you
feel
take a
like
step
I'm
back.
It was
fucking.
implied.
I feel like I'm a normal
You got a
person
bit of
on like
pushback.
CNN here. Like, are you saying you hate kids? No,
you got
dude.
some pushback,
I'm
man. Now
saying
you're
my
taking a
old
step
man
back.
enjoys Promite.
Stand by your old
so
man.
I will,
Don't dog
I
your
will
old man.
At times enjoy some Promite myself.
sent your old man out
Did
to
we
battle?
not sit here and just say that Vegemite top of the pile? No one comes close. But
Jesus.
I think you've sent your old man out to battle. You couldn't even stand behind
you guys
him.
are a
your old
fucking
man under the
disgrace.
bus.
Yeah, wow.
You are a disgrace. You guys are mainstream media.
We're a disgrace. You're
I'm
eating
sitting here
Promite.
in mainstream media town with these dumb hacks dealing with these
Like
fucking
you couldn't
idiots.
even take the brunt.
Society is now dumber.
He
for
had to like
listening
throw.
you
He's like,
two
oh, it's not,
dead
it's not what I said. It's what my dad said. It's not what I said. It's what dad said.
Yeah.
Threw it
Well,
out there.
because my
Mate,
old man
At the end of the day, we've got Promite over here instead of Vegemite is the way it was implied.
I sat here and said Vegemite top of the pile.
Does
and then
that
you
surprise me?
proceeded to say that you like Promite.
I said my
And
old
that you
man's a
and your old man
Promite
get into it.
connoisseur.
You need more of this in your life.
Fuck no.
You wouldn't
Fuck
make
that
such
cake.
stupid fucking
that
statements.
That cake is a
Doesn't
hack.
eat carrot cake, eats Promite over Vegemite.
I will say this.
Fuck
Shout out to
me.
the dribblers who have reached out again. The anti-carrot cake movement is growing.
No, it's so
It's
tiny.
fucking growing, dude.
It's a loud
It's overwhelming.
minority.
No,
Let's put
no,
it
no.
that.
Minority.
Yeah.
No,
Not even a
no.
Is it
minority.
even a minority?
Yeah.
This is you
Tom
guys
gets like one or two
mainstream
people.
media, CNN dickheads.
It's the amount of margin error. That's how many people. Like they might not even exist.
Yeah, they might not even
Yeah,
exist.
it's the margin of error of people. That's
Carrot
it.
cake
exactly right.
is the
Like,
lamest
1 in 10 of people are fucking
cake.
mental.
It's the
A lot of
lamest.
people actually think he
Imagine
does a better
hanging
job.
your hat on carrot cake. Of all the cakes to hang your hat on, the hill to die on,
Look how angry
carrot
he
cake.
gets about it. So
Look
funny.
at that
So
fucking
crazy.
thing.
He didn't say that
Look how
Promite's
angry
better
he
than
gets.
Vegemite. Yeah, he's blowing up.
Promite is not better than Vegemite. I will reiterate that.
Well, you'd better.
Backward step. You're walking away from your initial stance.
No.
I'd rather die on the hill than be
Check
a
the
cat.
tape. Check the tapes. Wind it back.
The question is,
Check the tapes.
if you went into the Birmingham residence when they were young,
Yeah.
would you find Promite or Vegemite?
Vegemite.
Sounds to me like you'd find Promite.
No. You'd find both, actually. You'd definitely find both.
Look, I'm not willing to believe that.
I don't give a
I think
fuck
I'm
what you
concerned that
believe.
you don't really like Vegemite, and I'm concerned that you would like Promite.
No,
instead of
I
Vegemite.
can eat. I don't mind Vegemite, but I do prefer
You don't
peanut
mind it.
butter. I do prefer peanut butter. I will.
You're weak. Stand by a spread.
I'm standing by
Put
it.
your name by a spread.
Stood by it.
You're a weak dog.
I stood by
I
it.
don't mind Vegemite.
Oh, no. My dad said he likes peanut butter.
Well, that was because that was the story. My old man likes promo.
I didn't say it. My dad likes peanut butter. Fuck. Sorry.
No, you said it. You like peanut butter. Have we got a stat on peanut butter yet?
I'll die on the hill.
Sorry, Dan.
Oh, it's worldwide. Okay, fair enough.
Sorry, mate. Fuck you guys.
You walked straight into that.
Yeah,
Like,
mate,
you've
I'm a
come
man
out
of
with an
conviction.
outrageous-
I'm just a man of conviction. You guys are
You
just
went to
weak.
water, conviction.
You guys are weak.
You went to water.
You went to water
You
then.
went to water.
Nah.
Yep.
You did.
Fucking, I'm rock solid.
Tried to say CNN
do you got there,
and
Matt?
shit.
Just a random stat about peanut butter in America. Americans consume so much peanut butter enough to cover the coat of the floor of the Grand Canyon each year.
They say that loud?
That's a disgusting stat.
What a weird stat.
Americans eat enough peanut butter each year to coat the floor of the Grand Canyon.
Holy shit.
It does do a good job at like letting you know though, in terms of
Yeah.
crystallizing in your mind
Well, I
how
don't
much
know how big
goddamn
the
peanut
Grand
butter
Canyon
that
is.
It's grand, dude. It's
Yeah,
a grand
and it's a canyon. Canyons are usually big,
Yeah.
and then it's grand. It's like a big
How many?
map.
Particularly big
350
canyon.
million. A lot of people.
Put it this way.
It's a lot of
That's
peanut butter.
3 pounds of peanut butter per person per year.
Oh my god.
That's
3
also a good
pounds.
stat.
I need it in kilos. Is that like what is that?
1.5 kilos? 1.25 kilos?
Yes, just under 1.5.
Well,
yeah,
you
would
know what
be.
you got in front of you?
1.5 kilos. Well, how many?
trying to-
How
I'm
many?
trying to
Just
remember
put it into fucking
How
the
many
weight
jars
thing
are
in
in
Google,
a-
dude.
You got a computer that's connected to the internet. That's what you got in front of you.
You got access to every bit of knowledge in.
Well, you
entirety
tell
of
me
human
what it is
history.
in kilos, and then tell me how many kilos in a jar. How many jars in a kilo? If it's like 5 jars a year, then I'm not blown away.
But that's an average though. That's an average.
He does make a point though.
Do you know what I
but
mean?
also that's
But that's
like-
an average,
Yeah,
though.
yeah, and you're making a good point as well.
You know what
But
I mean? Like that's the average.
it's still a lot of peanut butter.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not
it
having
is.
5 jars of Vegemite. I'm not having 5 jars of peanut butter.
You having 5 jars of promo
You
though.
wouldn't have 5 jars of peanut butter?
Nah, fuck no.
I would easy.
I don't eat that much spread.
Really?
That's a lot of spread,
Yeah.
just generally.
How,
would.
so you reckon you got Vegemite in the cupboard for a year? Like how many do you go through a year? Do you reckon 2, 3?
No, you probably go through more than that, but that's in a household.
Vegemite also light.
Yeah, it's
You
a
don't-
smattering.
that's true.
Whereas peanut butter's like
Yeah.
Chuck her on.
you can pound it.
You can
Yeah.
load up.
What do you got
on
there, Matt?
peanut
So it's
butter.
1.36 kilos.
1.36 kilos.
And a normal jar is 780 grams. So, it's
So
about,
call it 2 a year per person.
yeah.
That's not that weird.
2 per person,
Per person.
of the whole country,
Whole country.
or per consumers.
So like
No, no,
700 million
no, no,
jars.
whole country.
Per whole country. That's pretty fucking hectic.
700 million jars.
Every person is having 2 jars. Every person in the country.
Which means
Pretty
that
hectic.
there'd be shitloads that aren't. So
Yeah.
most people are having like fucking
Yeah.
12.
So, but like I think there would be people going through a jar a week, 52 jars. The way that you can pound it onto peanut butter and
if
jelly.
you get yourself into a mood, like if you have like a dalliance with peanut butter for like a period, you know what I mean? Like you get in a couple of weeks where you're obsessed, you can get through a fuckload of peanut butter.
Tell you who gets through peanut butter? Tonka loves it.
Oh, really?
Sounds like someone's putting it on his cock.
Put it in his Kong.
Was your-
fucking loves
On a hand
it.
fan?
Yeah,
I could
right.
put it on my cock. Fucking oath I could. I choose not to.
Seems like Joel over
He
here
wouldn't
is,
care.
damn, Joe, wow.
It's getting weird in the Eduardo house.
Yeah.
Can do.
Yeah. Tonka loves
Depends
it.
what night it is, brother.
Shocking. Loves it.
Jesus.
He'll get through a jar a week comfortably.
Jeez. Sounds like it.
Now, boys. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Bloke in a Bar. I'm here with Thomas and Eduardo and Thomas from Hello Sport. Now, something's come across my desk that is quite scary. Quite scary. I'm actually concerned about our relationship. You know, you didn't get invited to the wedding, and then the week after, this is on your podcast.
He thinking this is a gentleman's agreement, and he comes in looking to get the hooks in, but he doesn't realise that I've got a bat.
Yeah, I think what would have to happen is like one has to like go low and just wrap up his legs and just hold onto his feet.
I could try and play a role.
Like
there.
if we were just to try get him down and you just hold onto his feet.
like I just knee him up.
You guys are planning to bash me.
Actually, if
let's
you
give
listen,
some context, CNN.
No.
if you listen to the whole thing, we said that we don't feel like we could handle you unless we double team.
we were asked if me and Eddy could take 2 Dennons.
Look, I'm just concerned.
We said no.
We said we couldn't take
Well,
2
I mean, the
yeah.
fact you're considering it, though, is a scary
Well, no,
prospect.
listen, we get given hypotheticals on the podcast
all the time.
at Hello Sport Podcast on Instagram. And one of them was, could we take 2 denons? Now, out of respect for you, we said no. But if the 2 of us had to take on 1 denon, we just were sort of trying to workshop how we would do it.
Okay.
Now, we weren't given enough real information about, like, could we use weapons and shit? So we assumed that we couldn't. We just thought we got to wrap up
He said
your
he'd
ankles.
bite my dick off.
Well, if we have to. If it's a fight to the
If
death.
you listen as well, as I say, if we're fighting to the death, I'm going to have to get dirty. I have to.
I respect it.
Yeah.
I respect
I
it,
have
but
to.
my concern is the fact that you're planning an ambush on me.
No,
or
we're not
something.
planning
We're not
anything.
planning.
We were thrown into a situation whereby we had to fight you. And we said, if we have to fight you, this is what we'd do.
Yeah.
And if it is to the death, I would start biting. That's all I said.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a big deal.
No,
People throw out
that's-
hypotheticals all the time.
Okay.
But also, if it is a fight to the death, you best believe that cock's in danger.
Yeah. Well, it's going. It's not in danger.
Well, I'm just saying he's obviously going to be doing some fighting himself. So it's like, while you're focusing on the safety of your penis, I'm up top booting you in the schnoz.
Yeah.
Why the schnoz?
Well, because I'm trying to.
Tittable.
It's exactly.
Now you're out and your cock's gone.
Look, it's
win.
it's
Not a
very
good day for
threatening.
you.
No.
I feel threatened. That's all.
Well, you should. That's the point.
Well, that's what
Of
I'm
a
worried
fight
about.
to the death.
Yeah.
That's what I'm worried about. Now, I feel like you didn't think about your tactics well enough.
Right.
we're not known fighters tactically
Because-
anyway.
Eddie, you're a long distance runner, aren't you?
Not now. No.
But I mean, you-
not at this current point in time.
But
no.
that is your forte. You can run longish distances.
like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
For the point of the story.
So didn't you run half a marathon like last year?
I didn't make it.
But it's still half a marathon.
Yeah.
Well, he had the intention of doing so.
I got 13 Ks in. It was like 41 degrees.
13 Ks and 41
Oh, that was the year
degrees.
before. I didn't do a half.
He's never done
no.
a half marathon.
Well,
No.
the tactics you would use is
Yeah.
like, I'm about 100, 105 kilos right now. You just use your cardio. That's how you win. You don't want to get in tight with a guy
But
that
there's
loves to
2
ground
of
and
us.
pound.
What the fuck am I doing?
Well,
Because
you
I'm
would-
not
okay,
running.
So what? I sacrifice him
Exactly.
and run you off your
Homer
feet.
Simpson. So we send you in like Homer Simpson.
See, this
Get
is
flogged.
not how a team
cardio,
works.
and then you come in and win.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yep.
And my dream is to live.
Yes.
So I sacrificed Tom.
But
And
you're
I-
Homer Simpson, so you'll live through it. You know how he goes
Look,
into
I'm not
boxing and he
liking
just
the
gets
way that
punched
this
till
is
they fatigue?
going already. I guess I could just sacrifice Eddy. Because ultimately, he is more long distance. I'm explosive. So maybe I just tackle
You're
him.
explosive,
Maybe
aren't
I
you?
tackle him early, get him down, incapacitate him. Hurt an
So
ankle.
what, you've turned on me?
Well, you've turned on me. So
No, I
I'm now
haven't.
turning back on you. You're
I
sacrificing
feel like
me.
you've turned on him.
I'm not
turning
attacking.
back.
I'm not
I was
attacking
like,
you.
I was like, oi, let's get him down.
I
You're
was the
like,
one that came with the
"Fuck
plan.
Tom.
He was willing to bite my
He's
dick
jumping
off.
on board. This is the problem here. It was you and me v Denon, and then he's just found his way in between.
And you've
here
bitten.
I am, and now I'm gonna have to break your ankle, and I'm gonna run.
You said you're explosive. That's interesting.
Well, I'm explosive on him.
Yeah.
Did you outrun Denon though?
No, but he'd be going for you. You know, it's like the first person, the easiest attack is going to be Eddy.
But if
there
you
on the
break my
ground.
ankle, then I'm already done. So
Yeah.
you just chase after you
No,
and
because
then
it's a
do
fight
you.
to the death, Ed. Would you understand that a broken ankle does not render you dead?
But I can't
will have to
move.
kill
It's
you.
basically as good as dead because
Yeah.
you can't run.
Yeah, and that's why
If you
will kill him.
break your ankle in the wild, it's all over.
Yeah, Dunskies. But I you know what? I respected the willingness to bite a dick off to survive.
Any meansness.
That shows a man that you're like basically Bear Grylls of fighting.
I'll go. I'll do whatever it takes. Yeah,
It
100%.
got me thinking after I was scared initially, going, "Fuck, these boys are planning to bash me." Who is the scariest NRL player of all time?
Of all time?
Yes. Now we've got a bit of a list here. We've got Adrian Morley, Ruben Wiki,
You've already left off the scariest.
Jake Trbojevic. Okay. Tony Carroll, Steve Matty, Les Boyd, Sam Burgess, Josh Papali'i, Isaac Luke, George Tavua, Manu Ma'u, Jared Warrior-Hargraves, and the Raging Bull. Is there anyone else that you guys can...
Aden Fanua Blake.
Yep, he's a scary man.
Scariest man on earth.
Is he the scariest man ever to play the game?
Looking at that list, yes, because there's like rugby league scary where it's like, don't run at Tony Carroll, he'll snap you in half. But if I ran into Tony Carroll, like fucking even in a Woolworths, I'd be like, oh, there's Tony Carroll. If Aden Fanua Blake's anywhere near me, I'm sure he's a lovely guy, but just in general, I'm like, holy shit.
He looks scary.
Yeah.
And he is scary.
Oh, he'll
It's a
throw you
powerful combination. Whereas I get, Tony Carroll, he'd be like, he passed you the pumpkin.
Yeah, big chin.
Okay.
Oops, sorry.
It's got to be...
Chin's
Well, everyone
in
knows I think Jake Trbojevic is the scariest man because you've always got to worry about the nicest bloke in the room.
Jake's a really good friend of ours, though, so it's not really
We can't
scary.
say him.
We can't
Okay,
say
you can't,
He's
'cause
a
he would
close
never do
mate.
that
We're
to you.
basically like his
Yeah.
fourth
This
and
is the
fifth
fifth
brother.
But you were
Fifth
planning...
and
I thought
sixth.
we were friends and you were planning to bash me, so...
Yeah, but you know, no. We were
Yeah,
asked
but you
to
don't
go
have
show.
us over for dinner.
Yeah, exactly. We
the
don't,
difference.
we don't know your parents.
Okay, fair enough.
Don't know your dad's name.
I personally,
Shout out to John
John.
Trbojevic.
I think, and maybe there's people further back, but I would say Gordon Tallis is probably the most intimidating player to ever play the game.
Very
But
intimidating.
again, you see Gordy in the fresh food section of a Woolworths. Gordy, how are you? And he's going to shake your hand. He's probably
Yeah,
really
but I'm
nice.
talking about in the heat of battle stuff. Most of those blokes, nearly every footy player in the Whole Foods aisle would be. I mean, you're in a Whole Foods aisle for one.
getting fucking
Yeah, nice food.
mung beans
Everyone's
and
happy.
shit.
Whereas like Gordon Tallis on the field, I feel like he'd be. Tell me a player that wouldn't be a bit like, oh shit, I hope he doesn't go skits.
Gordon
Yeah, I know,
Tallis
I-
has skits in him.
Oh,
he used to
yeah.
go skits every game, basically. He's fucking terrifying.
I heard a story about him taking out an entire bar.
Yeah, we have heard that story.
Don't want to perpetuate it, but
No.
did hear it.
Did
So
hear
let's
some
just
Roosters
say,
boys
based upon a true story that never happened.
that was told to us by a prominent front rower.
Torden Gallus is the story's about.
I think yeah, exactly. Jacques Callis.
We heard the story. We got it in intrinsic detail. It was fucking terrifying. I thought to myself, never wrong, Gordon Tallis.
No.
Because if that's what happens to you, mate,
that was
you're digging your own grave.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wrong and Gordon. So
On the field, Gordon.
remembering that story,
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, probably Gordon.
Don't wrong Gordon, because Gordon will kill anyone on that
a
list.
few of those Warriors boys, early 2000s, they were fucking. Francis
Ruben.
Melly flying off the wing. Remember Francis Melly? Nearly killed Brent Tate, I think.
No.
Okay.
Look, I do remember him. Have we got Ruben Wiki on there?
Yeah, Ruben Wiki's at the top.
There, yeah.
Adrian Morley, he was a fucking animal.
He was.
Remember when he got sent off after like one tackle at Australia versus England?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
That was outrageous.
That was outrageous. Absolutely. They show that all the time. Fucking funny.
But I feel like, and Adrian is scary, don't get me wrong, but in just comparison to these other people, it's like he was a bit more grubby scary, where it's like, oh yeah, like lift your knee into a tackle, dude, and then watch Gordon get up and bash the fuck out of you.
You know who is undercover scary, but not really undercover at all, is Junior Paulo. Because like he's such a big, lovable guy, but he's fucking massive and he can throw him.
And he's like very well spoken, where so it sort of like disarms you.
Disarms you before you know you're getting flogged.
Yeah.
He is terrifying.
Yeah.
Just visually as well. I'm
Big boy.
you
Big,
look
sick
like
boy.
Gallon, I think, is a scary bloke because you know he's fucking going all day.
Yes.
it's a different sort of scary.
I'm putting
though.
myself in an environment
Different
where
sort of scary.
conflict has arisen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like before the conflict's arisen, most people aren't that scary. But when it's like go time, who would I not want to be in the room with? You know?
Who do you reckon would have won on-field punch-on, height of their powers, Tallis, Gallon?
Tallis. Tallis.
Because Gal obviously.
Because Gallon's, I'm talking...
Is this
I'm not
pre-boxing?
well, yeah, pre-boxing training, which obviously gives you an
Yeah.
advantage.
That's a
But,
fucking
but
tough
also
one.
like boxing and biffing on a footy field are kind of different.
They are different.
You know?
They are different, but a
You're not going to be
boxer-
like ping ding with like a ref there.
Yeah,
It's
but-
like Gordy's just going to fuck you up.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
I think Gordy.
Do you
So,
reckon?
but the problem
Gordy
is,
against who was it?
if you're trained in boxing and you know something's about to go down, you're not going to get close enough for him to grab the front of your jersey. So all of a sudden, like, but if you're talking about
But doesn't it
front
sort
of
of
jersey shit,
start in a rugby league
Yeah.
sense? It starts where you're
if
already
we're talking
like,
about, you know, in a fucking a scrum and then they pack out, you're probably the most scared of like one of the bigger boys that can just throw you around like that.
who was it? Was it Ben Ross that Gordy just
Oh my
fed?
God.
That
Oh
was
my
one of
God.
the great feedings.
That was
the history of
outrageous, and it was like, it was so rapid and violent.
It was fast and violent.
and unnecessary.
yeah. It certainly went. It was a bit over the top.
Let us know in the comments section. Scariest bloke ever to play NRL. I personally think it's still Jake Trbojevic because you've got to worry about those. Like, he's so nice.
Yeah, I know.
There's a psycho
He's a
underneath
really
there.
good mate of ours, though. so-
Yeah, but I said it.
He's a different.
He's a really good friend.
yeah, it's my opinion.
You're allowed to say that.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
I
can.
just- I just-
No, you
yeah,
can.
fair enough,
We'll
fair
never
enough.
say because he's a really.
He's just such a nice guy.
He's such a good mate of ours that like I just
Such a dear friend.
yeah.
Such a dear friend.
Some footage is dropped of another Manly throbber. We'll get Matt to put it up on the screen.
Yep.
But he ran a 10.58 in the 100. He is basically been
quicker than
said.
what I did.
Well, that's why I wanted to ask you.
2 seconds.
Because you're the only man here that's broken the 12 barrier.
No, he's
I
broken
broken
12. We've broken
Oh,
12.
okay, sorry,
yeah.
my bad.
We're the fastest podcast.
You reckon you're the fastest podcast? Fair
Have you
enough.
broken 12?
Oh, nah. I don't. Not hand time. I'm not electric. Sorry, only hand time.
Yeah, no, we've broken electric.
Yeah.
So
Was it on a tarmac or was it on grass?
It was on whatever the fucking bouncy. It's not grass. What do we call it? Tartan.
Call it
It's on
tarmac, don't you?
No, well, I call it tarmac, but I didn't want to get it wrong for the purposes of the segment.
Now he's come out, this video, he's going to be trialling this week, but I wanted to ask, Edward, have you had your hammies genetically replicated?
Can't
Because
say. I can't say.
We're not,
won't say.
we're not at liberty to discuss that.
I won't say. I can't and I won't.
Because how do you have so many fast throbbers at Manly right now? That's what I want to know.
Look, did we strike up a deal internally? Maybe. I don't know.
Do we go down and run him through some sprint training?
Possibly. Who knows?
We got a bit of spare time.
Now this kid is rapid.
He's fast as
He is
fuck.
fucking rapid. And he'll be trialling this week. But where do you fit him in the Manly side? If the guy, like obviously he's not guaranteed to play NRL just because you're fast. Been plenty of fast players. But where
I
do you
think
fit
he's
him?
a depth man at this point.
You need depth in NRL.
Yes, that's a good
We,
point.
you know, like we just want to be able to
Need to
bring
get-
on some quick motherfucker. Is he?
One or winger.
he's a
But
winger.
apparently training at centre.
Right. He's a depth thing. That's, you know, we let Moses Sully go. Vale, sad
Well, look,
time.
Moses wasn't a walk-on centre last year either.
No, and
but
he
we
wasn't.
needed him from time to time.
So we
you need men. You're gonna lose men in this
Yep.
business, and you need to be able to fill the spots. Now, do we want to throw in a fucking quick young throbber? Sure, that's what we do at Manly.
Okay.
That's what we do at Manly.
Okay.
If a man goes down, we put an equal man in. That's how you win comps.
how are you going to keep him?
That's how you win
We're,
comps.
we're the only club that consistently produces lightning, like literal lightning, in human form.
What do you mean? How are we going to keep him?
Not even the Storm?
How are we going to keep him? What do you mean?
The Storm?
Well, yeah, producing lightning.
Well, they didn't produce any lightning. Who have they produced?
Little Pappy.
Stolen from the Tigers. One of the great rugby league nurseries. Addo Carr, stolen from the Tigers.
Yeah. You got anything else? Or no?
What? With Melbourne, how are they supposed to, like, if they're in their under 20s?
We're a lightning factory,
Okay,
bro.
hang on a sec. So you're saying that
we're a lightning factory.
Kalua is from Manly and he came through the Manly system. And everyone else also came through the Manly
We're
system.
saying he was slow until he got to Manly. That's what we're saying.
Saab
Slow
came
until he
from
got
the
to Manly.
Dragons. He's your fastest player right now.
He was Saab.
The-
was a
the-
fucking
your
Saab couldn't
fastest
make
player.
first grade at the Dragons.
Yeah, you took him from the Dragons. You didn't produce him.
And then
Because we
produced
gave him
lightning.
speed.
We're a lightning factory.
You're not
it
getting
all
it.
comes back around.
You're
doesn't
not
it?
getting
We
it.
fuse lightning with human being.
Okay.
And produce a lightning.
But the Storm doesn't do that.
No.
They didn't do that with Little Pappy.
No, he was
Addo
quick
Carr.
before he got down there.
Yeah.
That's where they bought him. No one knew the fuck Saab was. We go, we can put lightning on that kid. Bang.
Yeah.
Oh, Addo Carr, he'd only played like 1 or 2
He
games.
was fast
He
as
was
fuck.
fast as fuck.
Come on now.
So Saab wasn't fast before he got to Manly.
No. Slow. It looked like he was stuck in mud. Go back and look at old footage.
He was basically a front rower.
Wow, that's a big call. Wow. So how are you going to keep such a young throbber if your backline is sorted and he's clearly going to be an NRL player?
I think like any up and coming NRL player, they go, well, look, I'm fast. I'm in arguably the greatest side in the last 15, 20 years. Why would I go anywhere else? I've got an opportunity to learn under the tutelage of the great Tom Trbojevic, Jason Saab, half man, half lightning, Ruben Garrick, cheekbones as high as the Himalayas, I'm hearing him say.
He can learn how to be hot.
Yeah.
That's
Des
a good thing to
Hasler,
learn.
greatest coach, greatest hair.
You can
Why
learn-
would you go anywhere else?
Queensland
Jake
skipper.
Trbojevic?
Daly Cherry Evans.
Yeah.
Kieran
Okay.
Foran, arguably the greatest player of all time. So,
Why the oh yeah, or you can.
Am I
go to the-
missing something?
go to
Well,
the
you just
Tigers.
lost Moses Sully and he's a throbber.
look, we sat down with Moses, and
And
Moses
Foran
said,
also left the club.
I want to spread my wings. And we said, listen, it's not great for career Sully,
No, Brand Sully.
nor is it good for brand Sully.
Yeah.
But we're not going to stand in your way, son. Now, when Moses potentially flops, it sets the scene for everyone at Manly to go, you know what? I'm better at home. Go and talk to Kieran Foran and ask him what his opinions are.
Okay.
I can guarantee you he would say, fuck, I wish I didn't.
How many finals games did Kieran play when he was out in the rugby league wilderness? I believe it's 0.
Well, Gutho went to...
How many comps did he win?
Well, he didn't make the finals, so it's difficult to win any.
Well, I'm just
I'm echoing your
Gutho
sentiment.
went from Manly to Para and played better.
Yeah, but he's never going to win.
He's
a
never
comp.
won a comp, though.
But I think they finished on average better than you guys over the last few
But
years.
they won't win a comp though, so that's the thing.
Okay.
Like he's
So it's only winning comps. That's all that matters.
And Gutho less because he knew that there was a fucking, again, arguably the greatest player of all time, Tom Trbojevic coming through.
God. It feels good to talk about a Manly again, doesn't it?
It's been a while.
Now,
been a
onto
while.
the stores in Spotlight. We've got Kaya Bram celebrations, Win Chelsea IGA, IGA Quirindi. BYO sellers.
Corindi. That's a hard word to pronounce, but it is Corindi.
Okay, Quirindi. BYO sellers Budgeroy. IGA Tregear. Woolloomooloo Celebrations Mount Stewart Townsville. Bartlett's Tavern Rockhampton. Charlie's Superstore Gympie. N17 Burger Co. Port Douglas. It's on tap there at Burger Co. Port Douglas. Celebrations Asprey Perth. Federal Hotel drive-through Ipswich. So make sure to get down, grab a case of Bloke in a Bar, because it is as smooth as Christmas lager, and the footy is back. It is perfect to drink with the footy. But boys, I've got a very special video for you. When we're speaking a lot about having the license to thrust.
Yeah.
And if there's a man that has his LTT, I'd assume you guys obviously give out the licenses. I'd assume it'd be the great Benji Marshall. This is Benji.
Benji's had his license for fucking near on 2 decades. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Holy shit, dude. He's thrusting his ass off.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Shout out to Benji, who has gone on a social media assault post-career.
Oh, yeah.
He's going hard in his social media presence.
Yeah. He gets
I'm a fan.
He's opened Pandora's box.
Yeah.
And basically, if there's a guy that has an LTT, it's the great Benji Marshall. Now, what I want to, dive deeper into is the fact that a lot of blokes are thrusting around the start of the footy season. And do you think it's like a natural occurrence it's kind of like mating season for a rugby league player? They can't really hold it in anymore.
Yeah.
So they begin thrusting.
Well, they have to hold it in.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's bottling in your emotions, your urges, and they come out through the thrust. You see it all the time. February it's a real danger season for thrusting. You can overthrust.
What do they call it with like deer and shit, like rutting, when they're all just getting ready to mate? It's kind of like that in the rugby league world. And it's not just specific to the players. Like rugby league fans, like you ever run in the street, it's like your hips are just getting fucking real antsy as the season gets closer. So you're going to see more of it. Benji, as we said, licensed to thrust, one of the great thrusters all time. That was impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's come at the right. It's almost natural that he would put this video up now as footy's about to kick off. It's like he knows that he's in mating season.
Well, it's February, so he gets it.
And the thing about it is you do find, like, it's an overwhelming urge to thrust, and maybe it impacts other areas of your sort of, your life, where you maybe say things that make no sense, like Luke Brooks is going to win the Dally M. So, like, obviously, it's like there's a lot going on. He
said Dally M halfback of the year.
Sorry, Dally M halfback of the year. Little less
Much of muchness. Obviously, Tom's version has a little bit more mayo on it.
Slightly more.
And it comes off the tongue a little better, but Dally M halfback of the year.
Yeah.
Look, Benji's excited.
He's excited.
He's pumped up. He watched some footy on the weekend. He's foaming at the mouth. He's out there thrusting his ass off. Bombing drives, I'd assume. Benji would be able to swing a club.
Saying things he can't take back.
Well, saying things that are going to come back to bite him. Because that'll get played at the end of the season when Luke Brooks has been dropped. Maybe. No, like, I don't want to go too hard on Luke. I'm just going off what I saw last year. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, that's all I'm doing. The club's player of the year last year.
I know. And I think we all know that was a little rigged. So, we'll see. We'll see. They might go out this year and fucking rip and tear.
They might win the comp, Eddie.
Luke may win the comp. Lift the trophy, say, fuck you, Eddie, you're a loser, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'll go, you got to take your licks. Yeah. You have to take your licks.
You have to take your licks.
You have to.
Yeah.
But because it's February, because everyone's out and about thrusting their ass off, Benji's saying a little fucking shit that might get him in trouble. And I'm going to say some shit too. Don't see it happen.
If you were just to would you bet on Luke to win Dally M?
If you're in the business of giving away your money, if you're in a charitable headspace, bet on Luke Brooks to win Dally M.
He's just backing his boy. He's backing his boy.
Yep. At what, 2,000 to 1?
Yeah, what are the odds?
What are the live odds?
I'm pretty sure you can't bet on Dally M's anymore.
Oh, you can't because that
fucking idiot.
Where is that bloke? He'd have to be in witness protection, wouldn't he?
You'd hope so. There's a contract out on his head. We know that.
Like, I don't even punt, and it pisses me off.
Yeah.
There'd have to be a contract out on his head, which implies that he would be in witness protection. I would
Surely.
think.
He deserves to live in witness protection. Talk about being selfish.
That's annoying. I would have loved to have seen some of those odds.
Did he put money on through his own accounts? Or did he get his mates to get on? I can't remember.
It was his mates, and they raided his. I think they raided his house or some shit like that. As in, they fully rocked up to his.
50 grand. I think they put 50 grand total on
Bellamy
at $8 to win Coach of the Year when no one saw it coming.
Man, honestly, Honestly, one guy ruins the whole
One guy
WMs.
fucks it for everyone.
He's ruined it for all of us.
And that
I have
made-
a mutual friend with the guy as well.
Really?
I know one of my mates knows the guy, and he was telling me about it. I was like, that fucking piece of shit.
far out. Wow.
Not good enough.
Wow.
They made 4 accounts just to put the bets on. Like the
He
fucking
made
the accounts.
4 accounts.
4 accounts.
Jesus.
And it was
You'd be
68
surely
grand.
that would trigger some like, this looks weird. Why
Your
wouldn't you
account
just put it on your mate's
$25,000
account?
in, yeah. That's like, or just like,
What, 12.5 grand in each account? 12.5 grand on Craig Bellamy to win Coach of the Year would flag.
and that's just pops up just before, and they're all new accounts.
Yeah. Genius.
And the guys changed like one letter in his name.
It wasn't. It was to win 12 grand, so they put in 2 grand, and the trifecta bet was paying $34.
Oh, right, okay.
didn't
but
even
still.
make that much money. Well, 12
So
grand's a
all
shit
that
money,
for a $2,000 bet?
But that 4 times. So,
Oh, so $8,000.
yeah, 2,000 in each account.
Yeah, okay.
to win 12 total, or to win 12 each time.
To win 68 altogether.
Okay.
Did he win?
Yeah, but
yeah.
no,
Because he
found
said he
it.
was in a trifecta. He was in like a
We would have
multi.
known the answers, wouldn't he?
Oh, yeah. Who
I
would
mean,
have
fuck
known all
me.
the yeah.
It's like, could you imagine you got it wrong?
That'd be tough.
Bro, you got the answers. Yeah.
I wonder how long he workshopped that idea for. Like, he obviously saw the results.
But that's like when
Do
you
you
know,
reckon it was like an internal wrestle for him? He was like, oh, he just immediately
Couldn't
goes,
you just get 4 mates together that already punt
and just get him to
and
put
go,
it on.
mate, put 2 grand on, I'll give you the cash. Boom. Like that, yeah. Fuck, talk
It's like
about
when, don't you,
not a
when people
mastermind,
start
that's
going, oi, my friend's a producer at fucking Channel 10, they know he's going to win The Bachelor, put $50 on it, and you're like, sure.
Yeah,
and
sure,
then they
bro.
get it wrong. You're like, well, that was a fucking joke. Thanks for
I've
nothing.
been.
You've been hoodwinked.
Yeah, I've been
Wobbled.
hoodwinked.
I've been fucked over by that.
Really?
Oh, fuck yeah.
You've believed the, me mate's mates.
Well, because
missus-
sometimes it's right.
When has
you
it been
know?
right?
Well, but like when you're like the
I've had it-
producers.
I've had it right.
You've had it right, but you didn't bet on?
Yeah, I've had it right.
Oh, but you did bet on.
I've had people the order of exits from the show, and back in the day on Tab, you could bet like who's next to go.
way.
Got like 8 in a row. So it has
Okay,
happened, but
wow.
I've been fucked over by it. Like this chick definitely wins,
Yep.
and then they went like fucking round week 1, week 2. So
So when you message the bloke and go, oi, fuckhead, she just got out the first week. What does he say
yeah, but
back
then
to
he
you?
just goes, sorry boys,
Sorry,
bad
Mal
info.
was wrong.
And
Yeah.
what are you going to say?
What are you
Just
going to
go,
do? It's a game we play.
It's
the risk you take.
You got to take risk. You got to risk it for the biscuit.
You've always said that.
I have always said it. I will continue to say it because it rings true.
Now,
It
do
rings true.
you think that the amount of thrusting that we're seeing going on is the fact that there's been no off-season controversies at all this
It's been
season?
a very
very quiet
off season.
It's almost
hasn't it?
people looking around going, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we'd.
Some
I thought
journos-
because they had been in the bubbles and they'd been a bit caged that we would see more, but we haven't seen anything since maybe October.
The Omo season,
November?
the Omo sessions.
Yes, almost.
I don't think we've seen anything since Omo, have we?
No.
Bit of Omo flying around
There
then.
was Omo flying around straight after the season finished with your Reece Walshes and your Storm boys.
Which is almost par for the course, really.
Well, that's play on. Sorry, I'm washing my fucking clothes. But other than that, it's been pretty well behaved.
Now, what do you reckon it's paying that a journo has something but is sitting on it for round 1? Because we usually see that. Round 1, something's coming out.
yeah.
You reckon?
That usually...
What have we
what do you
seen
think, Matt?
historically?
Round 1, usually something will come out. Like as in...
To be honest,
Something will
actually,
be drummed up.
I reckon the biggest off-season scandal has been that Brandon Smith said fuck 64 times on a podcast.
Which is absolute low-key.
As far as an
yeah.
NRL
Yeah.
off-season scandal,
That's lowbrow to even consider it, really.
That is,
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah,
a sign
sure.
of a fantastic off-season for the NRL.
They went hardest in the paint around that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That took
they
up
were
most
desperate.
of their attention.
Yeah.
They were hungry.
desperate. If that's in a normal off-season, we don't even hear about it.
No.
In a normal off-season...
Well, the
where-
one from a couple of years ago
with big
doesn't
Nelson
rate a
flying around.
mention.
Fafita,
Yeah,
Nelson.
that's right.
That was one of the all-time
Nelson
off-seasons.
hitting a guy so hard in the face that like his skin split like 7 inches. You're like, oh my god.
And the guy was chasing him.
Yeah.
Like Nelson's like walking away, and this guy's like walking after him. It's like if there's one human not to walk after, I'd be pretty sure it's Nelson.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy town.
just seeing that video was so wild. Like this big, huge dude, just like the crowd was moving with him. You know what I mean? Like he usually like you get pushed around by the crowd.
It looked like the WWF where they'd have all the wrestlers be like 4 foot tall, and so then all the guys were like fucking. All the wrestlers were way bigger. It was just like Nelson above everyone else, and swinging.
One of the all-time off seasons. That off season. I would love to go back and find out what was the craziest off season.
We already know which one it was. It was not the last one. I think it was the one before, where there was some hairy shit in there.
The end of 2019?
Yeah, it was just pre-COVID. The one just before COVID.
Yeah. What happened?
I can't remember. I just remember it being like it was like.
Is that the Nelson David Feeder?
I think it might have been, but it was. I think it started off with our good friend and premier hog in the NRL competition, Adam Elliott. It started off with the Bulldogs Mad Monday. And him,
that was earlier than 2019, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah,
could you look schooner glass, and then it just went on. And then I think it might have even was that then for Feeder and Barley, and Nelson.
We've had some great off-seasons.
That was 2018 to 2019.
Okay, so
when was Nelson?
It's 2019, I think. 2019 into 2020.
One of them was better than the other,
Yeah.
but they were both pretty good.
Yeah, but there was one that was the like
They had a lot of
chef's kiss off season.
The Mad Monday one had a lot of legs in it, like a lot of different angles. People, what do you got there, mate?
Nelson was after 2019.
So 29 into 2020.
Yeah.
So it was a year after.
I feel like that was the one,
Yeah.
but I could be wrong. It's
So
one or the other.
Because we had not only for Feeder in Thailand, didn't he also go to the wrong house in that preseason? That same preseason?
No.
See, again, I don't know for sure.
No, that must have been last one because that was when he joined the Gold Coast.
Yeah, that was
Oh, it
2020.
was. Yeah, because you
you're
got the
right.
case of the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, we remember. Yeah, got the keys
Honest
to the city.
mistake.
That is an honest mistake. But I'm concerned, though, if we've had no off-season controversies, have the wild dogs been tamed? Are we going to see a tame season of footy if the boys aren't allowed to rip and tear? Are we taking away what makes them great?
I back him. I back him to rip and tear. I see a few scandals during the season as well. I'm excited.
You're probably likely to see more scandals in season if you haven't seen them out of season.
Well, it just depends on what sort of lockdowns they have. Like if they're going to be...
I think they're out and about now.
There's nothing.
No, but you know how initially when... I think when Omicron got into its work, then they were like, oh, they're going to have some new fucking protocols that they're going to have to deal with. Because you know how like then they were all coming out on Instagram being like, what the fuck was the point of getting the vaccine if we're just getting locked down again?
I think
So
the
is that now
NRL reversed it.
Okay.
Pretty sure they recently reversed it where they were allowed to
we
go out in
might
public.
see a
'Cause
bit
it was
of
this
ripping and
weird
tearing.
rule where you're not allowed indoors outside. So like you leave the house, you're not allowed to be in like the shops or like, you know, you can go to a cafe.
None of it makes sense.
Yeah, but you got to sit outside. And so I actually messaged like someone within the game and was like, can they come on the podcast? Like that's indoors. Like it's the same as sitting down and have a coffee. And they're like, oh, not really sure, eh? And I was like, oh, okay, sweet.
No one knows.
No one knows. What do you got, Matt?
But I'm just saying, yeah, you can now though. Like all those rules have been changed. I was talking to someone at Triple M and they got like a brief saying they can now have players in for interviews and stuff. And all the pub rules have changed. So
Sick.
So there's no rules now? Or
There's
a
rules,
couple?
but they're just not as hectic as no going to pubs.
Because they're not doing the bubbles and shit anymore, are they? They're definitely
Dude,
not
that would
doing
be
that.
such a stress going, like as a footy player going, oh fuck, we gotta go back into a bubble. Especially ones with
half the
families
NRL's
and
got
shit.
the fuck.
Well, are the Warriors like, is it back to...
They're still in.
They're still,
They
yeah,
had
they're
to
still
can.
Oh, they're back? They're still here?
They're still here, and they had to can their return game because New Zealand was going to make people quarantine for 7 days.
New Zealand's so ridiculous still.
So they're fucking what? Still in the Central Coast?
Redcliffe, I think.
Redcliffe.
Oh, they're at Redcliffe.
Yeah, still there.
Dude, they've been here for years now.
yeah.
Far out, honestly.
What the fuck?
Bizarre. Absolutely bizarre.
Surely they get a full season at home.
Oh, sure.
Or do you reckon they're like, nah?
No, they'd have to give him something.
They
Like
got to give
that,
him
wouldn't
something. They've got to give him something. They won't give him a full season because there's too much money, I think. I think they deserve a full season.
Yeah.
As in every game at home. But
They get pretty good crowds, though.
the return year would be for sure.
And especially
So
if
why
but
we
you can
could say
take it
it
on
would
a
make
tour
sense.
around New
Well, I
Zealand.
think
Go
like-
to all these stadiums.
So, like, for example, you know, Fox Sports, they might say, well, you know, we wanted it this. The clubs might say we wanted this stadium because we make money off that home. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many moving parts. Like, clubs could say, well, we lose if we have our home game at your stadium. Do we get all the money, or do you have to pay for everything?
Well, I
you know?
think that you would still get the profit. The club who sacrificed the home game would still
Yeah.
get the profit, but the Warriors don't have to come over here. You
But then-
take it around New Zealand. I think you could make it work.
But a club goes, okay, well, we go to New Zealand, our crowds are really small there. We only get 10,000 people for the Rabbitohs, for example. But at home, we might get 17th. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, maybe the NRL subsidises it and
Yeah.
goes, shut the fuck
I'm
up.
not
The
saying
Warriors
that-
have been out here for 3 years.
I'm not saying that should happen. I'm saying that that's what the arguments would be from the clubs of like.
I think you could find a nice common ground.
for
And
sure.
I reckon clubs would be relatively willing to try and work with the NRL and the Warriors to try and make something happen
What would
because
Fox,
of what they've
Fox
done.
League do though? Would they go like send people to live there? You know, or have fly every
Well-
week to New Zealand to do their
Well,
job?
what do they do now? It's
Well-
one game every 2 weeks. You essentially,
Yeah.
Do
already.
you need to be there every day of the week? Could you fly there
it's
and
a bit
back?
much, I guess, to ask them to fly every week, maybe.
Well,
I
it'd
don't
just
know.
be the hosts, though, right? So, like, because you'd
And
be
all the
able to
equipment.
use. Well, surely you'd be able to get
Nah,
that shit over
the
there.
equipment
Would
they
be already
use.
there?
is
Yeah,
already
yeah,
over
yeah.
there.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
not-
well, that's not- yeah.
Fox Sports.
Yeah,
I
it's
outsource all that shit.
Yeah, they don't know.
They
do
don't
that.
do it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, yeah, fucking oath they should get a full season. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thoughts on the All-Star game?
Loved it.
I was at a wedding pushing a pram outside with the game on the pram, being like, oh, don't worry, I'll look after the baby crying.
That old chestnut.
Yeah, it was good, but I was sort of in and out.
That's
It was.
eyes up
I loved
footy.
the start of it, though. The start was sick.
Start was sick. Start gets better every year.
Yeah.
I was saying that on Monday. Like the start was unbelievable.
Yeah, they come with the masks, the spears and shit.
The
They got in each
Indigenous
other's
war
face.
cry war dance was the best I've seen. I
100%.
think.
How, like, they did the Maori.
Loved that. bit.
Again, my ignorance, I don't know what it's called.
I think it's called a hongi.
Hongi.
Can you check that? I'm pretty sure it's called a hongi.
But that was really cool. I
Yeah.
like that.
When they
When their faces
Yeah,
touch.
yeah.
yeah.
I like
Form
that.
of greeting. Kia ora whanau. That's hello family. I'm
We're
pretty sure it
Kiwi,
is.
dude. We knew that.
Did you know that?
Yep.
no, I didn't.
I think that's how you say it. Apologies if I got it
No,
wrong.
I didn't.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. I thought the quality of the game was like surprisingly good for the first game of the year.
We
Thoughts?
all tipped wrong.
Yeah.
We did.
We
Very
thought
wrong.
Indigenous was going
We
to get the
thought
job done.
Indigenous boys were going to rip and tear.
But that's all right.
Yeah.
Happy
You
to
can
be
go
wrong.
with your biases, especially early in the season.
Yeah. And you know what? It's one of those games where although you want the Indigenous boys to win, like
don't,
seeing
yeah.
the other boys be so happy, you're like, oh.
You don't really care
Yeah, yeah.
ultimately. You just want it to be a good game.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Plenty of passion was nice. Very nice to see.
Now, who was your... Sorry?
Sorry, I'll just say.
Like Fafita was he was crying at the start almost. He was
Mate, a
He
lot of
was
those- I
so
think
fired
Albert
up.
Kelly was, at the end was like nearly in tears. Like after they lost.
Yeah.
James Fisher Harris
Oh.
looked so. My God.
He's just a different. Different.
You
There
want
is-
to talk about scary? Fuck me dead.
There is
yeah,
a
that's
picture.
actually a great point.
There's a picture of him doing the haka.
Yeah, bro. He
That
is-
haka was fucking.
You know what? He's one of the scariest blokes to
Yeah,
ever
he
play.
is.
comfortable.
Oh man, I wish that we had it here. Far out. That sucks. But yeah, there's a picture of him doing a haka, getting in someone's face, and it is one of the scary. Like imagine that in real. Like it's a war dance. So imagine you're like
Have
you're
you
right.
faced a haka before? I did
don't
in a
think so.
schoolboy, which
I
obviously
don't
has
think so.
no comparison, but it's like it is fucking terrifying, especially when you're like not.
Did
good.
you go to New Zealand?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like not good, right? So like if I was a hard ass, maybe you're like fired up. I was like, this is terrifying. This is a horrible way to start a game of footy. I'm fucking shit in my pants.
Yeah.
But to see someone like James Fisher Harris, who is just like thick as fuck and terrifying.
Look at this.
Yeah, bro. Dude. Look at the fucking pipes on him as well.
Fuck.
Look at those veins in his neck.
Yeah, bro. That's fucking terrifying.
Like that.
Is that Jesse Raymond? Like, oh shit.
Imagine like you roll up to their island and then this motherfucker comes walking down the beach.
I think about that as well, where you like imagine when the stakes were really high,
And you're
when
just
it
this
was actually
scared little
gonna
white
happen.
boy going, holy fuck.
I wonder how that
Isn't
would
that
have
part of
worked.
why there was a truce?
Because they would refuse to give up.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But fuck me, that's scary.
There is something like that though, right? Where
Put
it's
your hands
like
up, go, fuck that.
they're one of the only
I'm out.
indigenous nations
Reverse.
where
I
They got
believe
a
there was a
treaty.
truce.
They got
Yeah.
a treaty.
Yeah, a treaty rather, yeah. That's
oh,
right.
I mean, there's still New Zealand still face issues, absolutely. But what they've done, I think, is fantastic. They've integrated a lot of their
Their anthem
language.
is a perfect example of that.
I think what they've again, I don't know the depths of it, but I do know there are still issues. But I'm just saying that they did it better than us. That's for sure. Yeah. So who was your man of the match?
I wouldn't be able to give one because I was in and out
In and
of baby shit.
Fisher Harris was
He was
fucking
fucking
massive.
good.
He was massive.
He was good.
He
had,
just
I think-
trucks so much fucking powerful
but he's also
seed,
got
bro.
a bit of class about him
Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
He can fucking tip on.
Yeah. Who'd you like?
Tarpane, I thought was fucking a beast. I thought Patrick Herbert in defence was really, really good. Yeah, great game. Now, this is just reports, guys. Speculation. I don't believe it, but we'll talk about it because it is in the
Fuck
news.
this.
there are reports that the Roosters are interested in Payne Haas.
So he didn't sign the 10-year deal? Or
No, he
did?
didn't. No, he didn't.
He didn't.
You know
And
what,
he's currently
dude?
in court with his former manager, I think.
For the sake of this
Allegedly.
show,
Allegedly.
I hope he goes to the Roosters.
Oh, fuck.
For the sake of this, and for the sake of fuck the Broncos energy, I would love for Payne Haas to go to the Roosters. I would love it, dude. It'd be hilarious. I don't know how
I
it'd
say
happen.
this all the time.
Yeah.
And I feel like I need someone in the corner, maybe Matt's not up to it, who's just got a live predicted salary cap for the Roosters. So we can go, is this
Yeah.
possible? Can we fit it in like a little bean counter who sits there and his only fucking job is to tell me if it's possible or not? Because I feel like I'm a
We need our
broken
own
record
salary cap
saying the
auditor.
same shit all the time.
Well,
Can you have Payne Haas in that side?
to be fair, by the time they would get him, I'd say Hardgreaves is retired. They've already, Tokiaho is leaving this year. Liu left last year.
But he's arguably $1 million player.
But that's like 3 players.
Surely they can't have that many.
they're
According
only
to
going
the
to-
friend going
How can you
Horns
have $3 million players essentially, or close enough to?
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying that the argument for it would be that they have lost like Brett Morris, Josh Morris, Cordner.
None of those blokes are on money. I'm talking about the
Cordner
money.
would have been-
Well,
Cordner
Cordner
would have
was,
been.
but the Morris boys weren't.
Hargreaves would be.
Still?
100%. 100%. He'd be on good coin for
7
sure.
or 8?
He's still a premier. I'd say at least 6. At least 6 for sure.
And also, maybe if
Lindsay
you're
Collins
going to
is
the
on another.
Roosters,
You take unders.
you take unders because you're going to win comps. Whereas the Broncos, you try to get as much money as you can because you know you're not going to win anything.
Yes. Which is what he'd need to be doing.
Yeah, he'd need to be on like $5 million to stay at the Broncos.
Like he wouldn't get $1 million from the Roosters for sure.
No.
And for example, I don't think the Cheese I think the Cheese would have got bigger offers elsewhere than the Roosters.
Well, the Dolphins for one.
Yeah, well, Titans as well. I reckon the Roosters is probably the lowest offer, but he just thinks
He enjoyed that dinner.
He enjoyed that dinner. I mean, Trent can cook.
69 season,
And,
baby.
You know, he can do other things as well.
But yeah, so that's the reports. Again, the Roosters get linked to every gun player. It's usually just the manager trying to squeeze a bit of quiche out of the club. So, but yeah,
It'd be so
I
funny.
absolutely don't want it to happen, but I also know how fucking funny it would be.
It would
if
be
did
so
happen.
funny.
Do you think it will happen? That's a different question.
My concern is that we're still talking about like his contract.
How haven't you locked in this guy? Like, what are we doing?
Well, because the Broncos don't like locking in talent. They
Maybe-
like just letting them go.
Maybe year of the ambush isn't actually about you guys doing anything good. It's about the Roosters ambushing you and taking your best player.
Have you
It's
ever
probably had it for the last 10 years.
considered this? And I'm being serious when I say this. Is there someone at the Broncos who is actively white-handing you? He's like, let's sell all our best stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just sell
Let's get
everyone.
rid of everything.
And then like I'll paper over it by like getting an aging Reynolds in, who I still think's legit, but like, you know what 2-year deal is it 2 years, 3 years?
I think it's a 3-year deal.
Paper over that, but let's just sell all our new young up and comers. So like eventually we'll have Adam Reynolds and that'll be it.
Yeah.
And there'll be no one else.
Broncos
at the
beat
club.
Manly this year. Broncos will beat them one week.
Can we,
No,
have,
no,
can we have a
we
financial bet on that, please?
When do we play?
Yeah, $100.
When do we play? I need to prepare.
We've got a
that.
big bet with Michael as well about the Knights. He must be every time the Knights.
What is that bet? Is
We've
it
got
$1,000 each?
He's willing to pay $1,000 for the Knights to beat Manly.
Each of us, $1,000.
No. So who finishes higher on the ladder?
Ladder.
Is
He-
it was it ladder or deeper into the
No,
final?
it was ladder.
Yeah.
He
1,000.
made that bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
He's got some balls on him.
He doesn't give a fuck.
He's got no brain.
Far out.
But he's a real fan. You're obviously not prepared to take that bet.
he is brainless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we do know. But Tom and I are $1,000 richer. I'm calling it now.
Already.
Already.
You guys are playing on Magic Round 10.
Oh yeah, and we'll speak about it later. But yeah, sweet. What
Yeah, sweet.
was I going to say?
Manly
Say-
will win the comp.
quickly. This Friday, I'll be going live with Matty Johns and Andrew Webster on the Morning Glory with Matty Johns from 9 till 12 on the SEN app. So download the SEN app and listen to the debut show with the great Matty
Wow.
Johns.
What time?
9 till 12 Friday.
Huge.
9 till 12 Friday.
Huge.
And I'll rotate in every second week. So next week it'll be Joey will come in, and then I think the week after that I'll come in and it'll be me, Joey, and Matty. I think that's what will happen.
So what does it feel like now to be ensconced in the upper echelon of rugby league media?
It feels weird.
You know what I mean?
Feels
You're
weird.
like now it's Matty, Joey, us, and then you. Like, what's that?
Do you want me to get them to reach out?
Look, I mean, I certainly wouldn't say no to one of them both of them jumping on the pod.
Both.
Yeah, okay.
Both.
Same time.
Same time if they want.
So if I say to them to reach out to
Same
you,
time.
would that be technically you're reaching out to them?
No,
so I can't say that.
No.
No.
You have to reach out directly.
Yeah.
So I can't say
You're choosing
okay.
to reach out on our behalf, which is nice of you.
That's
thanks.
really sweet. That's you're a good friend.
You're a good friend. Have you met Matty yet?
Yeah, I met him yesterday
And?
and had an awkward handshake.
Oh, did you fuck it up?
Yeah, I fucked it up.
Oh no! What'd you do? It was your fault, obviously, because Matty's not fucking nervous.
But it ended smoothly, but it started poorly.
So
No,
did you
okay.
correct it mid-shake?
So as I was walking
Or did you
up,
say, can we do that again?
I didn't say we can do that again because it ended okay. He was very fluid with it. He didn't stay staunch in
So he
his-
allowed the hand to sort of find its right path?
So as I was walking up, I was like,
Oh,
holy
this is
fuck,
nightmare.
Matty Johns.
Were
fuck.
your palms
No,
sweaty?
no
Knees
sweaty
weak?
Your
palms.
knees weak?
Arms heavy?
No mum spaghetti.
Okay.
On your sweater?
I wasn't wearing
Already?
a sweater.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'm walking up, but I forgot to think about what handshake I'm going for.
I thought you were about to say which hand.
Hi, Matty.
Take your pick, mate. I don't know if you're left-handed or right-handed.
And so I'm walking up, and all I'm thinking about, like, I can't believe how lucky I am that this is happening. That's all I'm thinking.
You were thinking that.
But then,
That's
yeah.
really sweet.
That's sweet.
And then as it happened, I'm like, oh, shit, I'm more of a bro guy, but he may not be a bro handshake guy. So he stuck out his hand as non-bro handshake. And then, like, I went in as, oh, shit. And then,
You
put
didn't
up to
come
the
in-
bro.
you went in like that.
No, I
you
went
came
in
in
like
at a weird
this,
angle. Okay.
but then was like, no, but we're bros. Like, I'm a bro guy.
Oh, you want to stay true to yourself?
Yeah, so I like hesitated, but then went back down like that because he didn't move. But then as I hit his hand, he went bro.
Oh, dude.
And so, but it's smooth. So like, it like as our hands hit, we went, boom,
It became bro.
boom, came in.
Did you then?
Shoulder.
Oh, you shouldered?
Shouldered him.
I see you
Huge.
broed.
Broed him.
Oh, you broed him.
Broed Matty Johns.
Oh, that's good.
Broed him.
See, the problem that you had there, and obviously thank Christ for you that it was a course correction because Matty's a professional.
Yeah,
Whatever he does, you do.
exactly. But I
If
didn't
he
think about
sticks out
that.
the fucking conventional handshake.
But it was a moment for me. It wasn't a moment for him.
Yeah, but
No.
the problem is you've tried to preempt the great Matty Johns.
Yeah.
Whereas you
yeah.
just go,
I'm on your terms.
it's all cue. You
Yeah.
give me the
You
cue
let
and I'll
me
do
know.
what you
Yeah.
want to do at Perish
Yeah,
the Blue.
for
Simple as
sure.
that.
For
If
sure.
he doesn't put anything else, you go, up.
We're obviously not shaking hands at all.
I guess
Maybe you
we're not
fist
shaking
bump.
hands.
But he went with it though.
I know,
We got the
yeah,
shoulder
because he's a professional.
Because he's a professional,
Okay.
but he's owed an apology.
Yeah, that
Like,
is
you don't
true.
know. He might have walked away from that going, what the fuck, he broed it.
Would it be
probably
too? I think, Tom, that he should pen a letter.
I think
Matty
maybe you
Johns?
need to write a letter.
I think you should. Yeah, I think you need to dust off the
Okay. I tell you what, next week I'll bring in the letter. You can proofread
your
it.
penners.
And then you read it on the show with him. Just go, listen, dude, I need to do
I'll read it on
apologise.
this show, apologising
Ha-
to him, like a statement.
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe you do it. Yeah, I think you need to do a statement, though, like a press conference.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Next
think
week.
I think a nice handwritten letter
Yeah.
Okay.
would go a long way.
Okay.
Something,
then-
something you can
Next
put on the fridge.
Next Wednesday, I'll write it out and I'll do a statement apologising to Matty Johns for making the handshake awkward.
And then, obviously, you play it on their show.
And then we can play it
with
on
him.
their show, absolutely. Use a snippet. But what is interesting, so that happened. I was like, oh, fuck. In my head, I was like, fuck, what's going on? And then the other guy put his hand out and it was just a handshake. And I was like, oh, now he thinks that I don't like him as much as
Who's
him.
the other guy?
Andrew Webster. The
Oh,
other,
Webby,
the other
yeah,
host.
Journo.
Yeah, he's the other host.
Great rugby league journal,
And I just
Webby.
respected him, because obviously I respect him, but I was like, oh shit.
You
now
didn't bro down with
I didn't
Webby.
bro down
But
with
did
him.
he put his hand out?
He did, but
I think he
could've
needs to
broed
write
him.
2 apology letters.
Did he want a bro too?
I think he wouldn't have minded a bro.
Well, you got to fucking apologise to him then.
Andrew
You
Webster
fucked this
probably
whole
doesn't
thing
get
up.
broed often.
Yeah, I'm like,
And he probably desperately wants to get
guys,
broed.
I think you'd agree with this. Like, I'm the young, hot, hip guy.
You're the cool internet kid. Yeah.
I'm the young, hot, hip guy, and they want
Notice
to
I
be
left
broed by
hot.
me, you know?
You're the internet guy.
But I like young, hot, hip guy, you know?
yeah,
Like,
you're the
Yeah,
basement
I know.
internet
I know
guy.
what you're trying to say. I certainly
Yeah.
know what you're trying to say.
but you know what I mean, though? Like, I'm the...
You're the internet 38.
I think you need to write 2 apology
But
letters.
young-
Otherwise, you might find yourself out of morning glory. They might go, oh, you know how we said every second week?
Yeah, maybe
Every
it's
6 months.
Once a month. You need to apologise to Webby, who is, I tell you what, you want to see a journo who just good, honest journo? Webby.
He's probably one of the best.
He
I will
doesn't
give
have
him that.
mayo in him. Or at least not as much.
I mean, every
Wow,
journo's
they've all
got a
got
bit
a
of mayo.
They've all got a
They
little
all got a
bit.
bit of mayo.
They got a
And
little
I
bit of
think
mayo.
they'll admit that.
Well, I think you need
I tell
to.
you
need
what,
to have a
he
bit of
pounded
mayo.
a few pints. He loved a beer. Webby loved a
Yeah?
beer. Yeah, loved a beer.
And you didn't bro him down.
But
Sorry,
exactly.
Webby.
Didn't bro him down.
Were you on the piss?
No, but we may be organising one.
Sure.
Just a drink together.
yeah, right.
But yeah, so look, me first showing with the great Matty Johns behind you there wasn't a good showing.
No, you fucked that
But
up
I'm the
bad.
young hot hip guy, so like I can get away with it.
Well,
you know what I mean?
yeah, I mean, there's certainly some
Well, you
specifics
can get
there
away
that
with
we
it if
can-
you write a nice letter.
Yeah.
Okay.
You need to go old school, appeal to their old school sensibilities, and
Yeah.
let us do that.
These
Let us
are
cut
these are
through.
all. This is old school
Matty's
guys.
an old school guy.
Yeah.
Because even when we were going through show notes, he just had paper and pen.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
You-
going to
you're all on the
respect a
phone.
letter.
No, I was on. I
Digital.
brought a computer. Digital.
Yeah.
You
Digital.
would have been like, get that shit out of my face.
So 2 apology letters for next week.
Okay, 2 apologies for next week.
And write one to Joe as well.
Yeah, by proxy.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
I've
for
just
being a
been-
Queenslander.
That's a great point. You do have to apologise for that.
You do.
I won't apologise for that. I'll
Around
apologise.
the 8th. Good luck, bruh.
I'll
Sail on that
apologise
last.
for disrespecting the John's name by a poor handshake.
Yeah. I think, well...
I'd
but
consider
honestly,
apologising for
I'd put
Queensland,
in, I'd
yeah.
put in there, apologise for being from Queensland. I'd put that in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't though.
I think that'll go a long way.
Nah.
You got to.
You know what I can apologise
Danny.
for being? The young hot hip guy.
Well,
Apologise for not being from Cessnock.
and apologise for being from literally the Gold Coast beach and nowhere near a farm.
Do you have any memories of some, big moments where you've, because I've had big moments in my life and I haven't fallen under pressure, but I fell under the pressure that game. I didn't deliver yesterday. Have you any big moments where you've ruined a handshake?
When I was younger, we were out playing for Dubbo-roos, want to be a wallaby, rather be a roo.
One of the all-time sayings. All-time chants.
Yeah.
That's one of the all-time chants.
He's got that tattooed on him.
Mr. Larkham of Best 10 We've Produced fame came out to do like a fucking, like a skills session, and I didn't recognise him. And I was like, when the fuck's Larkham get here? And he goes, I am Larkham. I'm like, no, you're not.
You said, no, you're not.
And I said, no, you're not. And we ran off, like kicking the footy and shit.
No, you're not. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
So, shout out to the Roos.
Wow.
Oh,
And
fuck.
apologies.
Apologies to
To Larkham.
to Mr.
Steve
Larkham.
Larkham. I don't know if I've got anything. Not after that.
Mate, you would have had plenty of fucking
I'm sure
moments.
I have, but nothing that comes to mind.
No handshakes that you...
I would have fucked up plenty of handshake in my time. In
Can
fact,
we
I
get the
know I
rules of
have.
the handshake?
Well, we have done this. It's just about, I mean...
I think we did a whole
we
episode.
did a whole
on it.
episode on the rules of the handshake, but I mean, you can, I think if they are superior to you in terms of like, if you're shaking Matty Johns' hand, you do what Matty, you follow their cue. Other than that, I don't know. It's hard. Obviously,
We're
if
trying to
you're
show
on
love,
equal
though.
footing,
I'm trying to show love.
you can show love with just a normal handshake.
But I want to get a touch.
But maybe you got to earn a touch.
Like when you score a try in footy, like get a touch.
But you earn a touch. You've already, you score the try. You earn plenty of touches.
So I haven't earned the touch.
I'd just say maybe after the beers session with him, you've earned all the
Earned a
touches
touch.
you want.
So I've preemptively broed him.
Yeah.
Should have been strictly professional.
You've gone real early on the bro, hence the apology letter.
Stage 5 clinger bro stuff.
Well, yeah, it's a bit like, oh, okay.
Fuck.
Oh, he
Yeah.
thinks we're
No,
best
you've
mates.
taken foreplay out.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, did you fuck that up big
So
time?
he's gone home to his missus, gone, he's a fucking stage 5 clinger.
He's peeled out of that bro and gone, ugh.
You've taken your clothes off and you haven't even hooked up yet.
Yeah, yeah. You've met him, you've followed him, you're in his DMs all before you've even fucking,
Yeah, wow. Fuck. So it's a big, big error by me there.
Write the letter.
And the bad thing is, as I said, like I shook the hands of the other guy. So now we've got an unbalanced
Stop calling him the other
relationship.
guy. It's Webby, for fuck's sake. You're
Well, no,
disrespecting him on the show.
No, there was other gentlemen there.
Right, so you've only broed Matty.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
is it now there's
dude.
an imbalance in the power?
That makes it even worse.
Yeah.
That makes it even
Fucking
worse.
hell. So let us
Hi,
know.
Matty.
Actually, let us know. How you
Hi,
going,
Matty.
mate?
Can I bro you down, man?
I just thought I was young, hot and hip.
And then
You've never been caught up in being young, hot and hip?
every day. But like, it's just the way it goes.
What about you, Eduardo? Young, hot and hip, been caught up in it?
Nah, I don't think so.
You've never been caught up being young? I mean, fuck off. A few beers deep when you're young, hot and hip?
He gets overwhelmed. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, come on.
He gets overwhelmed.
Well, I just
We've had
told
some-
my Stephen Larkham story. Is that
Yeah.
is that not up to it?
No,
How
that
many
was-
more
no,
stories
I'm
do you,
talking
how many
about
stories do
being
you
young,
want?
hot.
Yeah. No, he
Like-
wants you to go deep. More stories, mate.
More stories.
I don't have any. Give me
Well,
more.
apparently you've never done anything bloody awkward.
No, I just don't have the recall where it's like, oh, have I fucked up here majorly? I guarantee you I have. There's one I can't tell. No, I have been
Which one?
the one with Rabs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I actually can't say that one. But
Well, you can.
Well, I sort of
Give
I
us a
left.
PG
No, you
version.
can allude to it.
Okay,
Give us a PG
You can get a
version.
PG version.
Yeah.
it's hard to give the PG version, but I accidentally left.
It is hard.
It's impossible. I'll just say this: I accidentally left a voicemail. I worked with when I worked at Triple M with Rabs. I used to have to call him for shows and shit. Like, what is what we're talking about? And I accidentally left him a very long voicemail. Didn't realize I'd called him. I left him a very long voicemail talking about some things I would have preferred he didn't hear. And then only upon having completed the entire conversation did I see that for some reason I have called Rabs. And so I just was like, hang up.
Oh my God.
And he never said anything to me, but it was...
He may not check his messages.
I'm hoping, and my hope ever since has been, like it would have been, like it would have been kind of weird. He was like, hey, thanks for that voicemail. Yeah. It was so, what I was talking about was so inappropriate for me to be discussing to him that I assume if he had heard it, he would have been like, well, let's pretend like that never happened. I just hope he doesn't listen to his voicemails.
What was the in like, though? What was the intro? Did you get straight into it as soon as...
No, there was a bit... I think there might have been a bit of dead air as well before.
Well, if there was dead air, I think
if there's dead air, I think I'm all right. But again...
Depends how much dead air there was.
The graphic detail of my conversation.
Far out.
So that's like not a handshake, but that was certainly bad. And, one day I'll get into it, but I can't right now. There are other people involved.
I used to work... with a guy when I was working as a mature age electrical apprentice, a guy named Greenie, but I'd also played under Paul Green, and so I accidentally called Paul Green and like thought it was Greenie picking up, and I was like, "What's going on? You fucking mad guy? Fuck yeah!" And he was like, "What's going on?" And he still had my number, and I was like, "Oh, it's Denton." He's like, "It's Paul Green." I was like, "Oh my God!" This is while he was coach of the Cowboys. So I've also been guilty of calling the wrong person. Let us know in the comments section, awkward handshakes. Have you ever had an awkward handshake with someone famous or your missus's father or some weird shit like that? Because some of these stories can really cringe you to death. Like mine.
Oh, shit, yeah. Where you just want to fall into
and just on Greenie, I don't know why this came into my head, but it did. We call people Greenie, blue, red. Do we use any other colours? Like, me mate, purpley.
Yeah, we don't use like bluey.
Well, purpley doesn't sound good, and I think that has a lot to do with it.
Greenie.
But Greenie's his last name.
Purpley.
No one's called
Goldie. Goldie. We don't really call
Goldie. Edward Purple.
Yeah, but red isn't their name.
Yeah.
It's usually because they got red hair.
Yeah, but like people can go purple, like as in... Like
or bluey?
Bluey is also a red-headed nickname.
Like blokes on steroids and that. Go all purple and shit.
They do. They do. They look like testicles.
Yeah. Big purple testicles. We don't call them purpley.
Why do people have the nickname purple?
You could
say
purple.
Start calling people on steroids purples.
I think you call them purples though, because purpley doesn't have a nice ring.
You don't have to say the why you say purple.
Like perpetrator.
Just call him purple.
You don't want to call him a perpetrator.
As well. Yeah, you could call him purple.
Or perps.
I think perps is better.
Perps on the roids.
Yeah. A couple perps.
Yeah. Look, I don't know. It just came to my head.
No, look, it's food for thought.
That's a good point. It's a good point.
It's not a bad point, is it?
It's definitely not a bad one.
This is a February pod if ever I've listened to one.
Reports that Tom Starling has re-signed until 2024. That's on the back of, a few months ago, Hodgson signing with the Eels. Thoughts on this re-signing, boys?
I wasn't listening. Can you say that again?
And you wonder why you didn't get invited to my wedding.
I'm starting to think that carrot cake might be better at there. Carrot cake, always listening.
Is it? The carrot cake's in your head.
Dude, right in
We
there.
haven't even brought it up.
You're going to come in one day and that cake's going to be like, I'm going to
hell.
fuck that cake up one day. You're going to come in. I saw Matty bringing the cake in from, obviously, he's got his own office now already. I'm going to sneak in there and fuck that cake up.
That is wild. It's really in your head, this carrot cake.
I'm off it. I mean, you don't understand what it feels like to have a cake gunning for your job. It's a tough spot to be in. I didn't see this coming in 2022.
Now, reports are that Tom Starling has re-signed with the Raiders until 2024. Thoughts?
Good. Well done.
Congratulations to the Raiders.
To Tom.
Yep. And congratulations to Tom,
yeah.
who...
I like Tom.
Yeah.
Tom's a good player.
You've got a bit of star power about him.
Quick.
You know what I mean?
He's quick, nippy.
I know what you
nippy
mean.
around the ruck.
Agile.
He's nippy.
Yeah. Nah, he's a good little player, Tom.
Is there a difference between nippy and agile?
Yes.
What?
Nippy is... I think nippy, you're a bit harder to tackle.
Nippy, you're just like your quick and short little burst. Exactly it.
Nip, 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 nip.
Yeah.
You nip around. You're always nipping around.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You know,
It's like
Agile.
cutting scissors.
well,
Well,
Agile,
agile's
you
like
mean
you
more
just
like
you're
you
light
can
on your
move and
feet.
shit,
You move
yeah.
well. You got
Ponga's agile.
You got good control of your hips.
Ponga's not nippy. He's agile.
so can big
Nippy's
fellas,
usually small.
Yeah, I was
Little
going to say, can
smaller.
big fellas be nippy?
No, not really.
Can you find out like where did nippy the word come from? Because that doesn't like it's not short for
Short
really
for
anything.
nipple.
Nipple.
Yeah, Tom's got huge nips. Dinner plates.
So blokes with small nipples are nippy.
No, I think the bigger the nipple, like
The nippier you are.
small the guy, bigger the nipple. You're nippy.
Okay. So
Something
agile is when you're moving your hips.
Yeah.
Nippy is when
Well,
you're
you're
low.
light on your feet. You got a good balance.
okay.
Agile. Nippy is like little small.
Maybe it come from
darty.
nippers. Like,
Could come
'cause
from
nippers
nippers.
is like the younger little
Potentially.
whippets.
Sand running. What is it called?
It's a bit of a long bow. So it comes from like biting, sharp. Like there's a biting chill in the air from nip. And then
A nip
like,
in the air.
I think the sharpness is the little nip, nip, nip.
Oh, okay.
There's a nip in
So
there.
did you say a shark?
Sharp.
Sharp.
you
Like
do
sharp.
s-
Beep, beep, beep,
You
beep.
do say that. Oh, gee,
okay.
it's a bit nippy.
It's a bit nippy.
Oh yeah,
There's
so
a
it means
bite to it, so
sharp.
it's like a
really.
bit sharp.
I forgot you said that. Or we say that.
Yeah,
People
that's
say
true.
that.
And so like, yeah, it's a bit nippy. It's a bit sharp. It's a bit
Yeah.
pointed. Okay.
That is, it's sort of like a sharp little.
yeah.
Testing run,
steps,
probing.
Yep. Okay. I like it. I like it.
They got a nippy one there in Tom Starling. That's
Yep,
for sure.
absolutely. I wonder what. I mean, I'm glad. Like, I'm stoked for him because he went through a bit of drama at the end of last year. So, congratulations.
He's seen some dramas.
he has seen some dramas, some Wes Naguamas. Now, New Zealand Herald is reporting Cody Nikorima will play fullback in round 1 with Reece Walsh suspended. Thoughts? I
How long
actually
is
don't
Reece
mind.
Walsh suspended for?
I think like one game.
Well, just the one.
I thought it was 2. 1.
And then what halves would be Chanel Harris-Tavita and
Sean Johnson.
Our boy
Or-
Sean Johnson.
What do
Would
you
be our straight
reckon?
up.
Shay J.
How do you reckon that'll shake out this year? Like the 6 and
Yeah,
the 7?
we've spoken
Sean
about this
Johnson
many-
and
we don't
Chanel,
know.
Cody on the bench.
Well,
Cody's a good 14.
he's a great 14, but he doesn't want to play 14. He wants to play.
Right.
Well, it's not
that's
about what he
yeah,
wants,
You can't always
though,
get
is
what you
it?
want.
What do you got?
My apologies. It was 2 games.
Yeah. Okay.
Sack
I
him.
knew that.
Yeah, look, I don't mind Cody at fullback. Have they got anyone else? I don't know. I don't have great visibility around the Raiders. The
I'm
Warriors
trying to think
squad.
of him at fullback. He is quite nippy, as you were. He's a good ball runner, and he's a good ball player. So he could just be that 3-on-2 guy at the back as well. Be interesting. It's not bad. Not a bad thing to do. Like especially when they don't have much experience in the spine of like playing together. So you want to have experience playing in the NRL.
Did I read the other day that Reece Walsh wants out of New Zealand?
Well, there were reports
Rumours.
that basically, he wants out of New Zealand. Because the thing with Reece is he's actually never really lived. I think he's been there for like a couple of weeks. But before he signed with the Warriors, he'd never been in New Zealand and he's never lived there. So the argument would be that like, you know, are things going to change when he has to live in a whole different country to where, you know, he's
yeah, it's a bit
based.
easier
He's
now
got
when
a
he's playing at
kid.
Redcliffe.
And
yeah.
that's a concern that a lot of people have with the Warriors squad as a whole. A lot of those boys, they may have lived in New Zealand, but a few of their recent signings, like Adam Blake, for example, like I'm sure he probably will live in New Zealand, but he hasn't lived for very long in New Zealand. He's basically played most of his footy whilst living here in the country that he has his base in. So it's going to be interesting to see if the Warriors do have issues with certain players wanting to leave because they don't want to have to move away from
the young,
family.
like Reece Walsh, what, 19, 20?
Young
19?
parent as well.
Young parent, like any fucking parent, if you just, the support is massive.
And when he signed, he didn't have a kid yet.
Yeah, so he's got a kid, his missus, like her family, I'm assuming, is all in Australia. You're over in New Zealand by yourself, you're like, ooh. Or you can go to the fish, the dolphins, and, get paid a shitload.
Be interesting, very interesting.
Coached by Bennett.
From the Warriors' perspective, though, you definitely would be arguing like, we gave you a chance when no one else, like the Broncos said you weren't ready for first grade, and we gave you a crack.
Yeah, you can argue that. 100% you can argue that.
You could
but he could
also
also
argue
turn
that,
around
like-
and go, listen, mate,
I
I'm getting
also-
a
I know.
Ripped
big
and
fucking
teared.
contract at Redcliffe, and I'm living in Redcliffe already. So,
And if I wasn't playing as well as I was, you'd fuck me off in half a second.
No, I'm hearing you. I'm just giving it from the club's perspective.
yeah, 100%, and I'm giving it back from Reece's perspective.
So, do you think the Dolphins are the box seat? Then what do you do with Kalen? Because Kalen's linked to the Dolphins as well.
Well, I mean, I think you'd be waiting, right? I think you'd be waiting till that June 30 deadline, whenever it is. And then I think after that, if you lose Kalen, you look on to the next thing. It'd be sort of like, well, Reece, we'll see, bro. We'll see. Like, I'd be baiting him along.
Oh, you baiting him?
Fucking oath. I'd be baiting.
what kind of
But
rhetoric would you use?
obviously, Kalen Ponga's my he's the prize.
He's the big fish.
He's the big fish I want to land. But if he tells you to fuck off, what do you do? Can't do anything.
Well, apparently, like in all the interviews, Caelan's been pretty, I guess, staunch in saying that like he loves Newcastle and.
I've heard all of that,
stay.
but I still think that if they have a poor season, things change pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, they do.
Like he's putting his faith in the club. Respect that. Obviously, he's said a couple of times that he's pumped that Joey's back there. So I think he's just going to wait and see, right? Saying all the right things until things aren't right.
They did rule. I mean, maybe it was a wool pull, but his father did rule out rugby going to the All Blacks. He said no.
I think.
he's
Do
not.
we talk
Yeah, we
about?
talked about
Oh, we
that.
talked
Where
about
we're
it,
just,
yeah.
you're keeping your powder dry, as it were.
Yeah.
Don't know what that saying means, but it is important to
Well,
keep
you don't want your
dry.
powder wet.
Because otherwise it's like a cake on your
Well,
face.
then it's not really powder.
What's it called then?
right, yeah.
What's wet
Cake.
powder called?
I don't know what wet powder's called.
I think
all
cake
I
is
know
just a
is that
mixture of wet
powder's only
powder.
powder if it's dry.
Okay.
Or it's
Otherwise,
wet
it's like a
powder.
glug.
But powder does absorb moisture though. Like it's kind of like.
But it doesn't
made
stay
for-
powder.
Yeah.
It doesn't stay powder.
Whereas a sponge absorbs moisture, it's still a sponge.
Yeah. There was a riddle that used to stump me when I was younger. What gets wetter as it dries?
towel.
Yeah. But that used to stump me when I was younger. I was like, damn.
Any other brain busters?
Well, you just beat a fucking 8-year-old Denon. Good on you.
Yep. Well, a win's a win, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you are battling a carrot cake right now.
Yeah, exactly. Got to take it.
Now, Andrew Johns has said that Chris Randall will be starting 9 at the Knights. Also said he's the fittest of the Knights.
I love how Joey's basically talking as though he's the coach.
Yeah, I love it.
That's exactly what I thought.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like we're just going to defer to everything.
Yeah.
To Joey for everything.
Do you reckon Adam
If that's
O'Brien's
all
like,
right.
we actually hadn't told him that he'd made this.
I think that Adam would know deep down that bringing Andrew back means that no one gives a fuck about what you have to say.
Yes.
Like,
With
it
the
is what it
greatest
is.
respect.
Like, of course, with the greatest respect. But you're talking about Joey Johns, the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah.
Like, he knows where he sits.
What about, how that would be tough. Like, you're in a coach's meeting and Joey disagrees with the tactic.
You go, okay, you just go, okay, sure.
Yeah. Shit.
You got me.
Oh, I really thought we should actually put Ponga at fucking, at 6. Joey's going, shut
No,
the fuck up.
I think Adam O'Brien, if he knows his stuff, if he's intelligent enough, he will be speaking second. So Joey will...
He may not actually speak at all.
Well, Joey, just go, Joey, you get everything you
And
want
then,
out,
boom, I
and then
agree.
I'm going to play off the back of you, which
Well,
is basically me agreeing with everything you said.
What about if they go Joey first, Ponga's dad second, then Adam O'Brien? I think that has a nicer ring to it, especially if you're trying to keep Ponga. Adam just needs to sit in the corner, get drinks, or go get like lunch.
Sit in the corner and watch.
Yeah. Yeah, he's getting cucked.
He's cocked.
He's getting
Getting
cucked.
cucked.
We're fucking your team and you're watching.
Has Joey relocated up there, or is he just doing this by Skype?
I'm not sure.
Skyping in each week.
It zooms in. Yeah, Skype. It shows your age again.
Yeah.
Skype's dead.
Skype is dead.
Well,
Are you
Maybe
trying to
just
bring it back?
WhatsApp's in. Just like, yeah, sorry. I'm on the
MySpace.
shit up.
ICQ. Remember ICQ?
Yeah, he just on the phone.
ICQ?
Uh-oh. You remember that?
ICQ.
You don't remember ICQ? MSN Messenger? Remember that?
Yeah, Messenger, yeah.
ICQ was pre-MSN Messenger.
Oh, dude.
Then there was MIRC as well.
You are a little bit of an internet guy.
I told you, I'm young, hip, and hot.
No, that's not. That's old. You're basically a Gen Xer.
What was
Young,
do you remember
hot.
what your, like, do you remember on MSN Messenger you used to put those fucking long waffling captions in?
No, I didn't have a caption, but I'll tell you what my email was.
What?
Sir Kempelot.
I
What was your email?
can't remember it. No, I actually can't. I was
He's
talking
a
about it with
liar.
my brother
He's
the
a
other
liar.
day. I can't remember
It
it.
would be something
It wasn't fun. My brother's was Colonel _ Shagger 69.
Colonel _ Shag.
We remember his, but mine must have been lame or unmemorable.
Shagger. What was yours?
Drum Bum 2000.
Drum bum.
Because I was a drummer. Went over real nice with the ladies on MSN.
Drum bum.
Drum Bum 2000.
That's like your bum's getting drummed.
Getting drummed. Getting
Yeah.
drummed. Well,
Yeah,
it was, a
drum
sign,
a
it, was a,
bum.
it was a sign of things to come, that's for sure.
Drum a bum.
Drum Bum 2000. My mate,
Did you have a lot
your
of dudes
mate
message
as
you?
well, he, on MSN you used to have, like, as you're saying, like your name, but like you could call it whatever you want. He had his and it was like, I won't say his name, but it was like, I'll say his first name. Hamish
I knew it was going to be
is with like whatever he's one of his mates' mums. Something like that was the, and then
Oh, he'd say he was with his mate's mum.
Yes, like that was his name. And then one of our other friends' mums was looking at the kid's MSN and saw that that was what Hamish's name was.
The actual mum in question?
No,
or
no,
another
a different mum
Right.
contacted Haim's mum, and then Haim had to contact the mum and apologise.
He had to call the mum.
Apologise.
Oh my God.
Yeah, good stuff.
That's good for the soul. That's good for the
Oh,
soul.
I don't care what anyone says. Mum jokes will always be funny.
Well, and again, it's like you're a 12-year-old. You don't know
Yeah.
any better.
Mum
You
jokes
say
and
dumb
farting.
shit.
I can't believe he was made to apologise. That's hilarious.
Dude, the roundabout way that it happened, it was like only to him. He's a well of
Imagine if that mum was a gossiper and didn't actually go and tell, and then she went all to tell her girlfriends, like, I think Hamish is sleeping with.
yeah. Well, how do you think that? Well, he put it as his MSN name, so
I don't know why he'd lie.
yeah, he's got no reason to lie as a 12-year-old.
Holy shit, man! MSN. I'm so glad that again. The good thing about our, upbringing is our conversations with women were private. It couldn't be. Whereas like a lot of the social media interactions with young kids now, some of it's private, but a lot of it's like, passive, like posting because they're trying to get this person's attention.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
didn't have to deal with that shit.
But you wonder whether there's things like, even just with like, say, WhatsApp and shit, like whether there'll be a time where, or maybe it's probably, again, we're a bit older with WhatsApp, so it's not as, but like you can still download the full fucking conversation of a WhatsApp, can't you?
Yeah.
So like there is a world where like your private shit.
Can
is
you
still
download? Would your MSN Messenger shit still be there?
Surely not.
the cloud didn't exist, I don't think, back then. Surely.
It might be stored like somewhere.
But if you
There would have
logged,
been servers
into
back
your
then.
account, is it still a thing or is it shut down?
No,
I wouldn't even know how.
Because they would have to pay for those servers all these years, wouldn't they? Because it wouldn't be saved on your computer.
No. It wouldn't be
Yeah.
on your computer.
Yeah.
I mean, could you like log in and?
I'd
don't
say
know.
no.
Fucking long time ago.
I wonder if Drum Bum 2000 is still running.
Far out. It's on Grindr or something.
Yeah.
or do they
I'd say
shut them
so.
down?
They would have shut it
Dunno.
down. 'Cause
At
like, for example,
hotmail.com.
video games that aren't popular anymore, they'll shut the servers down because it's costing them money, Like, let's say you've got Call of Duty 1, even though it's probably still popular, and no one's playing it. There's no point in paying for the servers each year.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking if MSN Messenger's still going.
You know what?
Is it still going? I don't even.
MSN Messenger should start blackmailing people that are successful now because we'd be all at the age of starting to earn a
Oh
good
yeah,
income.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
MSN should go around and go, I've got your fucking logs from when you were 12.
Here you go. Pay
You're
up.
talking about
You said
putting
some-
peanut butter on your fucking dick for your
Yeah.
dog.
He's still doing it. I know.
We're
Yeah.
still talking about it.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they'd be trying to blackmail me. He's like, I literally just mentioned that I did
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
And
and
good
also
luck.
I talk about dicks probably once a week.
Non-stop.
Yeah. Listen to the podcast, bro.
No more MSN. It's gone.
Okay. So
There's what, sorry?
It's gone. MSN's gone.
MSN's gone.
there'd be some exec who took the logs.
Surely.
Jeez, it'd be like, what am I doing with all this shit? There's so much to troll through.
Did you have any internet girlfriends when you were younger?
Yeah, as in like they would like from your school and shit.
Yeah, or just
Friends that were
internet?
girls.
Friends that
no
were girls?
girlfriends.
Really? Did you used to like not be able to speak to them in person, but then get home and
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been
Smooth
more like
online.
that.
What do you mean? Of course.
Oh, I'm just asking the question.
Well, I was
Speak
at
in
a
person. Fuck.
I was at a co-ed high school, so it was a little different. But then primary school, I was at an all-boys school, so it certainly had that. Oh, hey, how you going?
Wow. Did
I'll
you
never
have
see it.
dances with the like girls' schools and shit?
Well, and wasn't MSN Messenger like late primary school? Were we on it in
Late
high
primary
school?
school and early high school. Yep,
Right.
It was like pretty much high school for me.
Yeah, we know you're
I'm
old.
45.
we get it, dude.
We know you're
We
40.
get it. You're an 18-year-old in MSN.
We know you changed your.
Sir Kempelot.
We know you changed your date of birth on Wikipedia. That's
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah,
The drama that would unfold on MSN and ICQ.
yeah. I remember
Did
that.
you
I
remember
that
on
drama.
MySpace the friends list?
Yeah,
you
top
could rank
five.
your.
And you could have a song
Yeah, fuck yeah.
and it represented you.
But
What was
ranking
yours?
your friends was pretty.
You know, but
out
you know
there.
what?
Yeah, it was
But
huge.
you know what's
I'm
crazy?
Not your top friend. Like, well, what the fuck?
It shows
Again,
you-
I wouldn't have MySpace, but I remember the consternation that used to happen with people where it's like, what the fuck?
But it shows
Why
you how
am I in
soft
top
we've become
10?
as a society because we wouldn't. Like, that's so insulting. Top 5 was back in the day. If you weren't top 5, you had to cop it.
Yeah, fucking oath you had to cop.
had to
Apparently,
fucking
at
cop
girls' schools, at least Ella tells me, she's like, that was a serious business.
Fucking
Nothing
hell.
was more serious than your top friends. Nothing.
Wow.
Yeah.
What
Oh,
I
fuck
took
yeah.
really serious was my song that I had on because I wanted to show like, oh fuck, I know a bit of music.
Yeah, and what,
You know
what
what I
would you
mean?
have? Like
I'm all about
some
it. 50
Dungeons
Cent or
and
some
Dragons, 50 Cent.
Yeah. Okay.
Find me
well,
at
I
the
thought
club.
that was
Are
like
you
your
calling me a
mystical-
nerd?
Your words, not mine. I thought that you're into
Is
like all that
Thomas
shit.
Birmingham calling me a nerd?
I thought you were into all that like Zelda and fucking dragons and shit. I thought that was your thing.
Shout out to Zelda.
Shout out to Zelda.
That's it, no
Is
beef.
Zelda a boy or a girl?
Fucking, I don't know. I'm gonna say a girl.
Yeah, you got it.
There you go. I tell you why. Robin Williams named his daughter Zelda. There you go.
There you go.
One of the greats,
Bit
Robin
of
Williams.
truth. Yes.
Good Will Hunting. Watched it the other week. One of the greatest movies of
It
all
is.
time.
You know, he ad-libbed, I
Correct.
think. Do you know that one where he talks, there's like that scene where he talks about his wife farting in bed? When
Did he
he's, like,
ad-lib that?
reminiscing, he ad-libbed it.
Holy.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about
Great scene.
farting is like it's always funny.
Yes.
It's like
well,
it's
not to
universal.
everyone.
Not to everyone around.
Let's say you don't smell
Ella
it.
doesn't laugh always.
Yeah, but I mean
Shout out
you're
to her.
literally Dutch ovening it.
I don't have a sense of smell,
Not
right?
always.
So I don't know
That's
how.
called COVID.
Well, it could be, but it's been my whole life. Maybe
Imagine if it came back.
Dude, I've thought about that before. I've thought about that before.
Could you imagine if it comes back one day?
It'd be like
and
those
it was because you-
colorblind people who put glasses on and they're like, holy shit, I can see
and
colour.
imagine it was because you had like 2
Crayons up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
From back in the
when
day.
it comes to farting, which is a very important topic, because I don't know how bad a fart smells, I've been across the course of my life very liberal with just letting them rip.
Oh, you've been liberal.
Well, because I'm like, I don't
No
fucking
decorum.
know. Like, not really. And so then when I'm in a position
Surely
where...
Steph keeps you in check.
Yeah.
Not as much as she'd like. But then, like, when I'm in a position where I know I shouldn't, like in a work context, and I've got to
literally
hold them in.
farted here the other day.
Not now. This isn't work, dude.
Oh,
Come
fuck,
on.
Okay.
Or at a wedding.
No respect for the
But
fucking...
like, I would have to hold them in, and I'm like, oh my god, is this what people go through when they have to hold in farts? Like, it was. Everyone needs to fart more, dude. Like, I know, what free gas is like, and life's good.
I tell you what.
Holding them in's a nightmare.
That is something that women have got the short end of the stick. Like, a bloke farts, it's like, oh, you're disgusting, but it's kind of like laughed off.
Funny.
Whereas like women have to like, which is bullshit.
It depends.
Bring back
you
the quality of
can't, you
farts.
can't fucking let rip in front of women and it's just play on.
Yeah, but
Sometimes it is.
you got to admit,
At work,
No, not
No.
in a
Lift.
lift, just in general.
but in general,
around friends,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
But not in any
okay,
other
you're having a
setting.
beer. You're having a
that's not
beer.
good for
You're
anyone.
having a beer. There's girls, there's boys there, and you just go, boom, dude. Everyone laughs. Chick does the same thing.
I'll only fart in front of my missus.
I
in
know
terms of
that, but we're
chicks.
just
I wouldn't
using-
fart in front of Ella. I wouldn't be like, hey, Ella.
But you have to admit that women have a hard go of it.
Cupcake.
Gotcha.
Get the fuck out
She
of my
would laugh
house.
about it.
Dude, she would not laugh if I cupcaked her.
Yeah, she would.
You reckon?
Yeah.
All
But
right.
she'd be like, that was fucking disgusting.
But that's what I mean.
I'd never be invited over again.
Farts are universally funny. Why?
I don't know.
Like, what's the punchline? What's the joke? Why does everyone like someone farts or hears a fart? And it's like everyone laughs.
I
Like,
think
what
the
is funny
sound
about
is
it?
funny.
Is it the sound you reckon?
Well,
Well,
It's
no,
the
I think
sound
it's the
and the
sound
smell.
into the smell.
Paired with the like, sorry,
It's the
this is a bad
sound. It's
thing.
the sound paired with the smell, paired with the fact it's coming out your ass. I
Yeah.
think all of that rolled in together.
but like burps aren't
comedy
funny.
genius. No, burps aren't funny.
Yeah, but mouths aren't funny.
But mouths are dirtier than bums.
But they're not as fun.
They actually are.
Mouths are dirtier than bums.
Yeah, you can Google that.
I mean, less poo
So
in a
you're better
mouth.
off giving someone a Rimmy
Better off, yes.
than hooking up with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really? So we should all be.
So bring back the Rimmy.
Bring back the rim.
Ass
Did you
to
see
mouth.
that brown cardigan video the other day
Which one?
of the? I think I would assume they were on drugs in King's Cross, and this guy just bends
Yeah.
over and
He's getting
the
cleaned
girl,
out.
the girl just cleans him out. Yeah. Middle of the day.
It was
They got
In
arrested.
King's Cross or something?
Yeah.
That's
fuck
why they closed all the nightclubs down, because too many rimmies.
Well, daytime rimmies. Now they got to do it in the day.
Yeah. They used to be,
Exclusively
under the cover of dark.
Yeah. At Vegas. Is that the one in the cross? Vegas.
Yeah.
Shout out to Vegas. Many a good time.
You got anything there,
Vegas
Matt?
is on the corner, I think.
What do you got?
Barry's now. Could be wrong.
The mouth is generally considered the dirtiest part of the human, even more so than the anus, which with proper hygiene can be reasonably clean.
Boom.
Okay.
You better,
so we
better off
should
tonguing
be
your missus.
bring back the Rimmy.
Back the rim.
I don't know if the Rimmy actually is.
You know what,
gone.
we always-
I think the Rimmy's far more
I
prevalent.
don't know. The Rimmy, I don't think the Rimmy's going anywhere.
No, the Rimmy's. I think the Rimmy's still alive.
We
and
put
well,
shit on
But
dogs
it's
for smell.
taboo.
It's a little more taboo.
People
Yeah, it is
don't go, fucking had a great Rimmy last night. Like, you don't hear that
Yeah,
very
but I had
often.
a good snog last night.
Yeah.
You're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, how
Did
sweet.
you hook up?
But
And
you're
you just
basically
assume
kissing
you're
an asshole.
Yeah.
Well, you're not basically.
You're worse.
You're kissing your mouth, which
Yeah.
is worse.
Yeah. And we like put shit on dogs for sniffing each other's asses. We're pashing each other.
They must
We
look at
should
us and go,
really
that's
be-
disgusting.
That's yeah.
gross.
We're disgusting to
Yeah.
dogs. Holy fuck.
It's all about perspective.
It is.
Punters and dribblers.
So bring back the Rimmy, even though it's not gone.
No.
Just,
Someone put that in a shirt.
you'd have to be a special kind of human being to wear a shirt that said bring back the Rimmy.
You would. I don't rule out that there are people in this audience of ours that would wear it loud and proud. Bring back the Rimmy.
Holy fuck. Imagine seeing that in public. Just bloke walking down. It's got a big bring back the Rimmy on the back of his
Yeah.
shirt.
Yep.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I'd respect whoever wore it.
Yeah. Certainly would.
You go, you know what? That bloke's actually the cleanest person of the lot.
Yeah.
Oh, we just go, that bloke gets it.
He gets it.
Just imagine like you're on a first date, chick leans in to kiss you and you go,
Excuse me.
that's disgusting.
yeah.
Yeah. I'll
Yuck.
permit you to kiss my anus.
No, you do it. Just turn her.
Oh, you just, right.
I will only
Just
kiss
spin and
bumholes.
part.
Excuse me?
No, thank you. Exclusively Rimmy's.
Read the shirt.
Holy
You read the shirt.
I didn't rock up in this shirt for no reason.
You don't go on a bloke with a date wearing a bring back the Rimmy shirt and expect to hook up.
No.
Like you gotta read the fucking room, don't you?
That's a read the room kind of thing.
That's a
you got
really,
yourself in that mess.
That's a really unsubtle message there.
Fucking hell. Matty Johns has said the Sharks have.
Yep. This is how it goes. This is how it goes. Straight on to the next important
One of the biggest
topic.
sports podcasts in the country. And this is what we're talking about.
Straight back into it. Seamless transition.
That's why we're on top, baby. That's it. That's why we're on top.
Yeah. How'd you get there? Wow.
Matty Johns has said the Sharks have a big opportunity to make the top four. So basically, you know, he kind of said that the top five is locked in the sense that there's 5 teams that you would probably say are going to be in there. And the Sharks have, he believes, the most chance of like potentially cracking that top 5, top 6 kind of, you know, because at the moment you'd probably go what? You'd go Rabbitohs, Roosters, Manly, Melbourne, Penrith, Eels. Probably the most likely, not saying that they will, but they're most likely. Do you agree or disagree with the great Matty Johns?
Well, I like what Nico Hines had about him on the weekend.
Absolutely.
So I think that with him playing his best footy, they're a sniff. But top 4 is probably a bit of a stretch, but
They're a
you know,
sniff. They'll
they'll be a
Oh,
sniff.
yeah, they're a sniff.
They'll be a sniff for sure. Yeah.
They're definitely a sniff.
Look, he's not a professional, is he?
No, he isn't. Look, I mean, you know.
Oh, fuck.
First Rimmy joke, mate.
Yeah. I remember my first Rimmy joke.
Your thoughts, Thomas?
Yeah, I think it kind of all hinges on how well fucking Nico goes, right? He's sort of like
The guy.
kind
He
of
looked
the key.
fucking good on
He
the
looks
weekend.
so good,
If
man.
he continues his form from the Storm, and then you've got your McInnes's of the world.
Unsung, like not getting talked about that much, but he's an absolute goer.
McInnes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw a video, it might have even been on NRL.com or on the Sharks or somewhere, but there was just a little thing on like how much of a goer McInnes was, and you're like, yeah, he is he's just like, he's one of those guys where it's almost like, and I'm not saying this from like necessarily a playing style, because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but someone where you go like, Dale Finucane was a really good player for a long time before you ever considered him Origin or you know, as being where he is. McInnes seems like he could be that sort of player where it's like, he's just really good and really dependable and really solid. And he could be, if he sort of kicks on as a way you'd hope he would, or Sharks fans hope he would.
Well, he's a bee's dick from getting the hooking role from Cook a few years ago.
Exactly
There's
right.
been him and him.
So like that, you know, like he might become somewhere you eventually go like, oh, he might be like one of the first people you think of picked in those rep sides eventually. If he can fire with Nico and then everyone else around him,
Dale as well is in the team, obviously.
and obviously Dale,
Yeah.
then they absolutely could.
Yeah, it's. I like what I see at Sharks. The key issues, not issues, but the biggest challenges for them will be their 7 or 6. Like who's going to be that 7 or 6? Because at the moment they've got Trindle, Moylan, and Nico, and they're all, in my opinion, they're all 6s, and 7s. But we've seen Hughes go from fullback to 7, and Munster go from fullback to 6. So it's not like it can't happen. And then the other thing is you know, Fitzgibbon, can he coach? You know, we haven't seen him as a head coach. We know he's got if you could argue. Outside of being a head coach before, you couldn't ask for a better resume. You know, he's the defensive coach in New South Wales, defensive coach for Roosters. So
He's got huge raps on him.
huge raps, but it still is a question.
Yeah,
It still
fucking
is a
oath it is,
question.
100%.
They're the 2 biggest questions that the Sharks have to answer. The positive is though, is that he's a defensive coach, and their biggest issue over the last few years has been defence. It hasn't been attack. Like they can score points. You look at when they played the Roosters early this year, scored a bunch of points and then leaked a bunch at the end of the game. Under Craig Fitzgibbon, they're probably not going to do that. So
How did Andrew Fafita play in the All Stars? I just saw a chip kick. I didn't get to see like
it was
sort of-
okay. He looks fitter than he's looked in a while.
Is he a sniffer getting back to the main squad? Like he was almost exclusively in the playing for the Jets, wasn't he?
I
Was
mean,
it the
they've
Jets.
got a pretty good
Their forward
squad.
pack's pretty good.
Like they've got Toby Rudolph, Dale Finucane, Cam McGuinness. They got on the edge.
Who are their
Malachi,
big, thick
Nakora,
motherfuckers? Nakora's so good. Who are their big boppers?
Royce Hunt. Yeah, they got a good forward pack.
Yeah.
So, but it's good though because it'll put pressure on everyone that Fafita's there. And you know, he had a red hot crack the other night. So yeah, he could definitely find his way in the side. But
just even to have him there.
yeah, absolutely, putting pressure. And that's all good sides. I remember Chad Townsend told me that the year they won the comp, it's the most fights he's ever been a part of between a teammates that he's in his whole career.
Like at training. And
Like,
all
yeah, full on like pushing and shoving and like.
Really?
But yeah. But that's what you need. That's what you want. You want blokes ripping and tearing.
Love that.
You know, when I was coming through with the Broncos, you know, Moose and would try to fight someone. Corey Parker tried to fight me. Like,
With the greatest respect to Moose, and I'm assuming that's Josh Maguire, he seems like the sort of guy who's fighting any teammate.
yeah,
at
but
any
you
time.
want that though. You want it to be so, like, just high energy, so alpha that everyone's just when they're in that mode, they just fucking rip and tear and go at each other. They'd be pushing shoves, not all the time, but it was just because they're all big dick throbbers,
Alphas.
big alphas. And same with Townsend. Like when you look at that side, you got Luke Lewis, you got Paul Gallen, you got Fafita. Like,
So
all
should there
these-
be like, should every team almost have like a team gossip coach? You know, you only go, oh, he said you're a fucking soft cop.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. He thinks you're
Just
shit.
firing them up.
Yeah,
Yeah, fire 'em
I'm
up.
pretty sure he was DMing your missus. And then, you know, you're just trying to get that sort of
Well, apparently
beef
Ricky
developing.
Stewart used to tell his like people that like his enforcers like, oh, this guy said like when he
As
went-
in opposition players.
opposition
So
players.
Ricky, a team gossip.
He,
but Ricky gets
about it. Ricky gets it though.
No, I know.
He knows how to wind a bloke
Clearly.
up. But yeah, like don't get me wrong, it wasn't every single week, but pushes and shoves wasn't a bad thing. Bit of passion. You want
Yeah,
a bit of
nothing wrong
passion.
with a bit of passion.
Bit of passion. Now the UFC. Did you get a chance to watch that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Thoughts on Israel Adesanya defeating Robert Whittaker?
I thought that Rob went fucking close. I don't think he won.
No.
But he had a red hot crack.
I had a fair crack.
After that first round, I was very concerned. I was like,
too.
he's going to get fucking pumped again in the second round. I thought it was going to be a mirror of the first fight.
Yeah.
But he turned the tables, took him to the ground a bit.
It was
Israel's just
technical
so
as fuck.
fucking strong. Like as soon
good.
as you get him to the ground, he just hopped right back up.
He is the mixture of a super
Crazy.
athlete with a super intelligent fighter. Like, I honestly believe, like, don't get me wrong, Whittaker got close and, like, had a fucking red hot crack. I don't think any stand-up fighter is going to beat Israel Adesanya.
There's that
Only a
still
wrestler.
image of
Well,
him.
they say
like-
he's the best striker ever.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
There's
It
like a
needs to be-
still image of him kneeing Rob in the face, but not like some up the front knee.
Yeah.
It's like this like side knee to his
Crazy.
jaw. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is this guy doing?
He's on another level. The only, like,
His reach and his height is just
Crazy.
His reach, what's his, like 7 inches, I think?
7 inches he had on Rob.
and like, and the issue for Rob is when you cross that distance to try to get to him, Israel is such a good counterpuncher that he's going to knock you out. For example, in that first fight, what's crazy is that Robert Whittaker actually lands a good shot on Israel, but Israel is such a pro that he's almost throwing his shots naturally. And when you're in the pocket throwing naturally, like, for example, if he throws a right, you know, and then Israel's going to know just by instinct, not by thinking instinct, I need to throw a hook. And that chin is just going to be there. So, like, he's so good that he doesn't even need to think about throwing those punches. So, crossing that distance for Robert Whittaker, there's a reason why, I don't know, did you have commentary on?
Yeah.
Bisbing kept saying he's not throwing a right, he's not throwing a right. But that's because...
That's cool. Well, he kept saying all he's got's the left.
yeah. And that's because, though, Israel was waiting for him to throw the right so that he could counterpunch him. And
Which is what DC actually said.
Exactly.
Daniel Cormier was often like the voice of reason.
Yeah, for sure.
Bisping was getting like a bit fucking
Like, he's
like
the
a
right,
bit
he's
sort
the
of
right.
like tunnel vision with
Yeah.
his commentary a little bit. And DC
Absolutely.
was like, well, I think he's doing it for this reason.
Yeah, because as soon as he
and
did...
he pointed that out.
And the coach came out after and said the biggest thing, as in Israel's coach, the biggest thing we were surprised with was Robert Whittaker didn't take more risk. So they
Didn't
were waiting
risk
for
it
that.
to
For
get the biscuit.
You should have chatted to him before it.
Well, you know, I missed a call. I was busy.
So he reached out. You would never reach out. So I think, don't get me wrong, Whittaker, one of the best we've seen in that division. But I only see...
But not enough.
I only see a Khabib-style wrestler defeating Israel. If you're going to go stand up with Israel, I just don't know anyone in the world that's as good as stand up as him.
It's just, but then they're like, and we're talking now Cannonier, the next guy, and it's kind of like Rob fucked Cannonier up. So it's like, it kind of is Rob
100%.
and Izzy.
I believe unless Israel takes Cannonier lightly, he'll defeat him in like at least 2 rounds.
Hamzat was calling him out. Obviously,
saw that.
Hamzat's a bit more, like Hamzat's fought middleweight and welterweight. He's obviously in the hunt at more at
Oh,
welterweight.
he's fought at
middleweight. Yeah. He fought like at middleweight and welterweight like 3 weeks apart or some shit.
I'd give Hamza
He could
more
put
of a
size
chance.
on and get up
Yeah,
to.
because Hamzat can wrestle as
He's
well.
a wrestler.
And he can throw.
Yeah.
They were saying that Hamzat's never lost a round in training. That's what his camp
training.
saying. Never
I can
lost
see
a
that.
round.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I'd love to see.
He could
like,
put the size on as well to get up to middle.
well, he's done it.
Because
He's
he
fought at
he
middleweight.
looks like a light frame at welterweight.
Yeah. That's what I just think that the only way you're going to beat Israel is by just crazy good wrestle.
No one else gets me horny in the middleweight division fighting Israel.
No.
Except
Other
Rob.
than-
And even then, that was just a super technical fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Israel, he's on the path to one of the greatest of all time. Obviously, Anderson Silva is still the GOAT, but he's not far off Israel. He's 32, so he's still got at least 3 years in him, probably 2 to 3 years.
But I doubt he's going to chase. Well, not doubt. Who knows? He's trying to chase down his title defense.
How
Record,
many?
right?
How many? has he
13
got?
or 12, I think.
Something pretty.
He's
How
done,
many is
man,
he on
he's done
now?
5.
Five.
So he's got a fair way to go.
He's got a fair way.
Well, at 3 years,
he's gonna
if he
lap
fights
the fucking-
twice in 3 years, that's 6 fights. So he might get close.
He'll probably,
Eleven.
but he's actually pretty active. He can squeeze 3
Yeah.
fights in a year.
Yeah, so, I mean, it'll be fucking tough. I think the only difference is like, that was back when, like, PEDs were rampant. And then, obviously, anyway.
Champions usually wouldn't fight. Like, how often do champions fight 3 times a year?
Twice a year, I'd say. Would be
Yeah,
good
but
for him.
is he certainly, he'd be one of the more active fighters on the roster.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he literally went up a weight and fought, what's his name? Like, think of the balls to do that.
Blachowicz.
Yeah, and the only reason why, is it Blachowicz, did you say?
Jan Blachowicz.
Yeah, the redhead guy.
Yeah.
The only reason why he lost to him was just pure size wrestle. Like,
Polish power.
he was just too big in the wrestle and just laid on him. But
He'll go up again though. Like that's the.
Yeah, I think he'll go up again.
But they
He'll
were just
go up
saying, like, I can't remember who I was listening to, but they were saying he won't go up for, who's the champion now? Old guy, Glover. He won't go back up for someone like Glover, where it's like, I assume that the inference was like that Glover can just take him down and do a similar sort of thing.
He's a stand-up.
But a stand-up guy. So whoever Glover's fighting next is more of a stand-up guy. Again, another name it's difficult to pronounce. So they were saying, like, if that guy wins, then there's more of a...
I got to say, that division
Might have been Brennan
above
Sharp,
them,
I was listening
Light heavy.
it's
The names aren't.
No, it's a bit lame up there.
There's not much going on because obviously John Jones was light heavy, correct?
Yes.
Since he's gone, obviously,
And
for
DC.
a good reason. Since those two have gone, it's like, it's not really that interesting.
I think probably the least one of the least.
Definitely one of them. Like, I'd honestly rather see Morales versus the little fellas.
Figueiredo and
Yeah, I'd rather see another one of
Are
them.
they bantam or
No, they're
fly?
flyweight.
Fly small.
Yeah, fuck
Dude,
small.
like middleweight and light, like obviously Izzy is Izzy, but middleweight and light heavyweight would be the two most boring, I think.
Yeah.
Izzy just gets it done either in a less exciting fashion, like a more technical fight like it was with Rob. Still good, but if you're like just a casual fan, you'd be like, fuck this.
You know who I would
Light
like to
and welter
see?
are the strongest.
You know, I'd
and
like to
feather.
see go up is Usman versus Adesanya. I reckon that'd be interesting.
They'll never do it.
I know they'll never do it, but
Yes.
that would be fucking
That would be
interesting.
sick.
Fuck, that would be interesting. And it's Covington versus Masvidal this week.
Not this week.
No.
Next week.
No, I
March.
think it's like
No.
six- fifth
First
March.
week.
Fuck.
First week in the month.
What's this week? There's a fight this week, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a fight.
It's not a UFC
okay.
card though. The
But
next
that-
UFC.
I can't wait for that.
Dude, that's going to be...
Oh mate.
It's going to be hectic.
When we talk about all-time yarns, that's one of the all-time yarns.
Mate, I can't wait for the press conferences.
They used to live together.
Yeah.
Colby used to
Live on his
sleep
couch.
On his couch,
Yeah.
and they were like, "There's videos of them going, who's my best friend?"
Yeah,
It'd
they
be like
showed all
you.
that.
It'd
They
be like-
showed all
yeah.
that in the fucking
Yeah.
in between like the fights.
Which one's Kobe? Which one's Masvidal? Out of you two?
I think you're probably Colby because you're a bit more loud and like,
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Probably.
Okay.
I'd say so.
and I'm street Jesus.
You're street Jesus, you reckon? You reckon you got the hood credit?
Well, I'm just a bit more of the Miami flair, I think, is sort of...
Miami
I
flair,
like
you
a
reckon?
Hawaiian shirt. Like I
What
said.
Miami? Do you reckon he's got much Miami about him?
Yeah. Mr. Miami.
No.
Flair and you don't really go well together.
Nah, trust me, guys. Trust me. Mr. Miami. That's what they call me sometimes.
Who's they?
I don't want to get into it. I don't want to get into it. That's just what they're saying.
So to this podcast, you've said you're explosive and you got a bit of flair about you.
Yeah. No, I didn't say flair. I'm Mr. Miami, is what I'm saying.
Miami
If we're
flair.
just-
You said Miami flair.
yeah, I mean, if you're asking me to compare Eddie and I to Colby and
Yeah. Okay.
Masvidal.
So you do have flair about you or you don't?
in this context, yes. Absolutely. Yep.
Can you dress up as Masvidal one day, please?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Well, for the fight, and you can dress up as Colby.
Easy. Put a MAGA hat on. You gotta get your hair braided.
You got to
and
get
shit.
like a fucking you got to wear like a fluoro orange suit and a MAGA hat.
You got to wear
I can
like
do
have your chest out.
Yeah, and like, but I just get to wear one of. I get to basically dress up like Vice City. I'll fucking happily do that.
Who would I dress up as?
I don't know if you're involved.
Henry Cejudo.
Oh, fuck. That's fucked.
Yeah, Henry
What do you
Cejudo.
mean? You're Cejudo,
He's cringe.
dude.
He's the cringe king.
Well,
You asked.
Oh fuck. Who have you got in that fight, Colby or Masvidal?
Colby.
We were saying the other day, probably Colby.
Yeah, I honestly think Colby dominates him.
Yeah, same.
like completely dominates
Yeah.
him. He just like Masvidal can't handle wrestlers, and Colby's one of the best wrestlers. Like he went toe to toe with Usman.
Yeah, you see the way
Colby
that fight went. You're
He's a
like,
motherfucker.
was fucking close in that fight.
Yeah, really close. Especially
He's got a
towards the end.
serious chin on him as well. He's getting fucked up.
Whereas like
At one
Masvidal
point.
not only is not known for his gas, but he's also known to get beaten by good wrestlers. And Colby's one of the best in the business.
Is Masvidal's like rise over?
Masvidal's was a hype train, I think, more than anything. Because before that knee and
How many? Has he lost 2 in a row now?
So he lost to Usman, and then he lost to Usman again. Got knocked out clean.
Pretty sure they were back to back.
they might have been back to back.
Yeah,
Could be wrong.
Like Masvidal's a quality fighter, but he's not. He didn't. It was the 3-piece and a soda, and all the stuff around it that gave him all that hype. You
That's
know what
it.
I mean?
It was he punched Leon Edwards backstage, or he knocked out Darren Till, then punched Leon Edwards.
Then he
does the
kneed
flying
Askren,
knee.
yeah.
And then it was
That
the
was
baddest-
great
Then it
stuff.
was
Ben Askren.
the BMF belt with Nate, like all
Yeah.
that shit. You
Yeah.
know.
He's lost
Are
the
they
last
still
2.
doing that fucking thing?
No,
What?
he just has it.
He's lost the last 2.
To who?
Against
To which-
both Usman.
Usman.
Yeah.
Which isn't a it's Usman.
Oh, so
No,
yeah.
he's just lost 2 title fights.
They used to
right?
talk about that. So that's not a thing.
It's not a thing that keeps happening. I think it was like Nate Diaz is like, let's fight for the BMF belt, and then they just made one. It was a bit of a giggle. Get the Rock out there, give him the belt.
Thoughts on
So
the
it's
Rock?
not on the line this weekend. Oh, on the
No.
5th.
Thoughts on the Rock at Super Bowl?
I didn't see it.
Well, you've
Like
seen
I
it
saw,
since.
yeah.
See his kid?
I mean,
Yeah.
does it surprise you?
He's a weird one.
It's LA, loves that shit.
Yeah.
He's so Hollywood, it's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Like if there could be an epitome of like,
Well, he's an A-lister.
oh,
But he's just look. It's
That's what
I don't-
happens to you.
I turn into a bit of a hater around the Rock, and I don't like. He's obviously killed it, right? But he's just to me like the least genuine person on the planet. Like he doesn't realize how Hollywood he is.
like
It's the most Hollywood guy.
the
I think,
ripping.
ever.
He's like, so I was late for my movie set, and everyone, I was getting calls I couldn't make because my door couldn't open.
Yeah, he ripped the gates off. No, he
ripped
did.
like gates that would have been like 200 or 300 kilos or something. Like pretty.
He just
fucking
didn't
heavy.
do it, or if he did, there's clearly video footage which he's not releasing because he didn't do it.
Yeah, wouldn't you release the video?
He would have
footage of you ripping up?
CCTV.
But he's also like, it's Friday, 3 a.m. I'm in the gym working out. I always got to work. It's like, dude, I get it. Your work ethic's insane, but you also are on probably one of the most comprehensive steroid cycles a human's ever been on.
How much do you reckon he spent on steroids in his life?
Fucking all the money.
I don't know how much they cost.
No, neither do I. I'm sure it's a lot though for
Far
him.
out. I just enjoy it. I just embrace it.
I do as well, but I also
Like
sometimes
I understand it's like
he's hyper cringe.
oh hyper cringe, but that I love it. I view it as that. Like I'm getting my hyper cringe.
yes,
For the
yeah.
day.
He's hyper cringe. When viewed through that lens, and
Now the great Bam Bam Tuivasa. How good
So
was
good.
that?
Dude, I honestly
So
thought
good.
that he was going to get fucking starched in the first round. Like, truthfully, I love Ty. but
Well, you
it
look
was
at their
like,
rankings. He wasn't even top 10. I
That's
don't think.
it.
He was
And you're
11th.
the
Yeah.
knockout king. It was like they're both going to come in and swing. And, Derek Lewis is so hectic. You just need to touch someone and they go down. And then you're like, oh, he's punched him like 5 times on the ground here. And Ty's just getting up. You're like, ooh, this is different. That elbow he hit him with was so fucking solid.
Oh my
and because his
God.
head was up against the fence, it was like it had nowhere to go. So he just crunched him.
he'd already rocked him as well. Like
Yeah, he rocked him a couple of times before.
Imagine hearing that big body. Boom. Like when he got knocked out.
It was like a tree getting cut over in the
It
forest.
kind of felt
Shit.
innocuous as well in the sense that, like, in the heat of it all, you didn't really see how hectic the elbow
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
And then he's just sort of peeled away as Derek's just falling. You're like, what?
Because he's noticed obviously, and he's like just backed off.
Yeah.
Far out, man.
It was fucking hectic. He is a bright star now.
Off to the races.
Holy shit. So marketable. Everyone loves him.
Loves him. And like, just the fact that he was getting oosed and instead of like backing up, he just started swinging himself.
Yeah.
You know how rare that is to find.
Mate, he
a
was
guy?
fucking pissed off when he was getting punched on
Yeah.
the ground that first time as he's getting up.
Like
Like when he
most
gets to his
people-
feet, he was fuming.
Most people like will back like, oh, I'm getting punched. I better back out of this situation because I'm getting nearly knocked out. He just put his head down and started fucking swinging.
Him walking out to girls just want to have fun.
Yeah,
at the start.
and then he
as
just
well.
bashed one of the greatest knockout artists of
The greatest knockout artist.
all time. And he walked out to girls just want to have fun. That's big dick moves. Holy shit.
Such big
He's
dick
like,
energy.
and in the press conference, they're asking like who's they want to fight next. He's like, mate, I'm just a fucking banger from Western Sydney, and I'll be banging till the day I die. And you're like, oh my god, that's hectic.
And you know, it's like everyone I've spoken to that's known him growing up he really was a banger from Western Sydney, just walking around fighting. And he was also a gun footy player.
Yeah,
He was
he
with
played
Roosters.
Howard Matts.
Yeah. I always said like with Bam Bam, it's like it wasn't a matter of talent. It was just was he willing to train hard enough to be as good as he is now? And clearly he has, because far out. I mean, right now, when you think about where he's at, like he's not even top 10 like he would be now. But before this fight, not even top 10 in his division. Yet he's one of the bigger Aussie sporting names.
Well, he's one of the biggest UFC. He's one of the bigger UFC names.
Yeah, and
like he's been padding main events for a while now.
Yeah, for sure.
People fucking love him.
He's really like the only other person I can think of like that in the UFC is like Sean O'Malley.
Sean O'Malley. Yeah.
But
Mate, most of them are on fucking UFC fight nights
Yeah.
in butt fuck nowhere on Thursday nights.
yeah,
You know.
and he I think he went on like a three losses
He did.
streak.
It was
Yeah,
like
he did,
JDS and then two other guys he lost to, and they were like some of them were decisions. It was just real shit show stuff.
Yeah.
Is it 5-fight now win streak?
It's 5, yeah.
5-fight knockout streak. It's hectic, but like he also could have an incredibly lucrative career just padding cards, knocking dudes out and
100%.
doing shoeys, because like the value he brings to a card is. Like, it's not really even... I mean, he can do the title fight thing as well, and clearly now that's where he'll go. But, like, you can also just go and knock out plumbers,
And
plumber-ish people.
Do you reckon he'll headline?
Eventually, I should say. Like, well, I mean, is he,
He
going to
could
fight
headline-
Francis?
he could headline one now.
He could probably headline.
He could
next.
headline one now.
And Dana White loves blokes like that.
Yeah.
Like, he frosts blokes.
He doesn't
that-
do it. He did the fucking two of us, the Shuey Vasa. He wouldn't just do that for anyone.
Nah, no way. No way. And also, like, from a fighting perspective, Dana White loves people that go in there and bang. Like, there's people that have been on, like, losing streaks that he keeps giving chances to because at least they go in there and fucking throw down. Whereas there's other guys that go on, like, win fights, but they do it by, like, points or wrestling. And Dana White hates that shit because he thinks it's, like, a bad product. Whereas Bam Bam is creating the best... Like, that fight against Derek Lewis was wild. Like, absolutely. There wasn't a second where you weren't like, fuck, what's going to happen? So, yeah, massive.
No, it was as
win.
advertised.
Oh, fucking
Except for
so
a bit
good.
of clinch stuff in the first round.
So
but otherwise,
good. So fucking good. And I also, on the undercard, Penrith Panthers, I forgot his name, apologies. Penrith Panthers wrestling coach or jiu-jitsu coach won in the UFC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on the undercard. Can you get the name up?
Dude, in the UFC...
the UFC, the Panthers were in it.
Yeah, they were in the whole, like, the UFC countdown. They were
Yeah.
they were interviewing Ivan Cleary and shit. And, like, they were showing... they showed Matt Burton's try in the grand final, and
Yep.
it was, like, Robert Whittaker talking about, like, you know...
Would have been because, like, Bam Bam, obviously, that's his team. So they would have been like, this is
No.
their-
It was all of...
because
They trained
Rob
with Rob.
trains out there.
Oh, Rob trains out there.
they all train at Whittaker's gym.
right.
They all wrestling and shit at Whittaker's gym.
I thought, but Bam Bam is Panthers.
Yeah, he is
isn't
as well.
okay.
But the thing
Wow,
was about
okay,
that's
yeah,
where
yeah,
they all
sweet.
train. The Penrith Panthers.
Yeah, so their jiu-jitsu coach won his fight.
Hectic.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
Jacob Malcolm.
So
How cool.
congratulations.
Nice,
At least we
bro.
know those boys can wrestle. We used to have a K1 fighter that was doing our wrestling at the Broncos. Man, he was a bad man. Hazy. Bad man.
Hazy.
Yeah, Hazy. He used to fight over in like Japan and that. I think it's Japan. Bad man. Bad man. Anyway, you got anything to discuss, boys? Anything you want to get off your chest?
No, that's us.
So I think that's
Go
me.
Manly.
That's-
Manly.
yeah. Go Manly.
Manly will
We're
win the
back.
comp. So.
Oh, actually, Broncos. Massive win on the weekend.
Standing O's. Yeah.
56-4.
That's
Big
embarrassing.
season ahead.
Again.
Big season ahead, yeah.
What about the most widely reported fucking preseason win of all time against a fucking feeder club?
I literally report that game every single year.
So embarrassing.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. That
you
is.
should
Like,
be
you have
disgusted.
credibility to uphold. That was embarrassing.
Oh, okay.
You want to
So,
talk about credibility? It's all gone.
so
Yeah.
I shouldn't post that game each year?
No.
Look, I wouldn't be celebrating it that hard. You didn't. I don't. Did you post every trial result? I don't.
There
think
wasn't
so.
any other trials.
I didn't see any other trial result.
Nah.
Yeah.
And would he have posted if they lost?
No, he wouldn't have.
Exactly. So he's a fraud.
Fraud.
as usual, grab a case of Bloke in a Bar and I'll go and fuck myself. Thank you.